And I think we're good. Yep, we're good.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Comic Convo.
Oh, there goes Sean.
There was a.
Hey, we were just introducing the show. Anyways, like I said, episode 5 of Comic Convo. I'm one of your hosts, Kyle. You got Jeremy.
What's up?
And you got Sean.
Hi. I like Pop Tarts.
Yes, that is true. Sean likes
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I actually hate Pop Tarts. I used to love them though. Like, Pop-Tarts, I appreciate that.
Pop-Tarts. Stoner shaver snack. Anyway.
That was pretty good. But anyways, we got a pretty good haul of comics today. We got some Rebirth, we got some indie stuff, and we got some Marvel. And I actually got some DC stuff this time, which is really exciting.
Yeah,
so
this is gonna be cool. So do we start with you want to start with DC, guys? So let's go ahead. Since we didn't get to talk Rebirth last week, you guys want to talk about the Rebirth special, and then we can kind of lead into the DC stuff.
Is it? All right.
Talk about so I didn't read Rebirth, but I pretty much got the gist of it, so you can just go ahead.
Okay.
But I was gonna ask, is this everybody that showed up, or?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We don't know if Chris is going to show up, but we gave him a heads up that he can pop on if he can make it.
Yeah,
all right. Go
personally, Jeremy, I have nothing to say about Rebirth. I actually just wanted to get into the books we had this week. Personally,
Okay. Well, I mean, all I really wanted to do was like a quick little 2-sentence thing. Like Chris said in his review, and like I said last week in my individual video about Rebirth, this. Like, as somebody who really fell out of DC ever since around 2011, where they, rebooted the universe, I gotta say, this felt like I got a Blue Lantern ring. Like, I it just descended from the sky and was like, Jeremy Lost Olsen of Earth, you have the ability to inspire great hope. Welcome to the Blue Lantern Corps. I felt hope again. I was like, this is what it feels like? I forgot. It was great. Wally West is back. Wally freaking West, and that moment where he hugged Barry when he pulled him out of the Speed Force made me cry. Like, I legit teared up there. It was a lot of really good emotional moments paid off for old school DC fans. And you got like Justice Society leading to superheroes and all this other cool stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into Rebirth. Where do you guys want to start? Arrow, Lanterns, or Batman?
Say what?
Where do you guys want to start? Arrow, Lanterns, or Batman?
Let's start with Lanterns. I mean, okay, no. I'll take that back. Because I didn't actually get the chance to sit down and read my Lanterns because I had to go do something. But I'm not gonna lie, I cheated myself and I kind of skimmed through it. I like the art, and I can already tell I'm gonna love it.
Oh yeah, it was a great book. So Kyle, what did you think of Green Lanterns? Because I know you were saying that like this was probably the one you were looking forward to the most when we were talking about like the Rebirth stuff. Yep, and I've got the alternate cover, which is like them standing back to back, all lethal weapon style.
Oh yeah,
I really like this pose. That's the whole reason I got it was the pose.
But I really liked this issue. I'm not a big Green Lantern.
Lies! Don't say that.
Kyle's just never been into DC to begin with, and like he got a really bad first impression with Hal Jordan. So he's never really been into it.
Your name is Kyle. You automatically have to read Green Lantern, fam. Like,
we've made that joke all the time.
Like,
Kyle still doesn't want to listen.
I'm just messing with you.
I know. But I actually really enjoyed it. I liked Jessica a lot. I thought it was really funny. She was kind of like me as a female superhero. Because she like stayed in her apartment for like 3 years. She's like, I liked it. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh man, I love her banter with her sister. Her whole thing with her sister, and when she actually showed up to her sister's soccer game, she's like, Jess, what the hell? You actually went out of the house?
Yeah. I have to ask though, Jeremy. I'm not sure if you've been keeping up. What is Boz? Is Boz like in trouble? Simon like in trouble for something? Like
Okay,
he's like,
so what happened in Green Lantern number like 19 or something when he was first introduced? It was a little bit racist. It was a little bit racist. But what had happened was was an illegal street racer, and he happened to steal a car that happened to have a bunch of explosives in it, and said car blew up a building. And so he was accused of being a terrorist because he just so happened to be not only Islamic and Arabic, but he possessed a truck full of explosives. So yeah, didn't look
oh,
good for him. So he was in trouble with I think the FBI or CIA. He ended up locked in Guantanamo, and then I guess when Hal Jordan had like died because him and Sinestro had gotten trapped in Necron's like little Black Lantern. He technically died when they crossed over to the Valley of the Dead, and so Hal's ring went to find a new host, and it found Simon. And Simon, ever since then, Simon's been training with the Corps, even though he's never really been shown anywhere until now. And that's why I love when he tries to act like he's the shit, and he's like such a veteran rookie, such a veteran Lantern around Jessica. But then Hal is like, "You're only more senior than her by a few weeks, dude. Calm down. You ain't nothing."
but I really enjoyed it. I loved the artwork. The artwork is by let me look it up right
Yeah,
now.
Ethan Van Sciver, basically the Green Lantern artist, the one who drew Blackest Night.
And also by it says Ed Benz as well, and Jeff
Oh,
Johns.
Ed Ben's in it too? Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
he's actually in the credits. I actually made sure I wrote all this down. And Jeff Johns and Sam Humphries wrote this. But I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a really
Yeah, you can tell the Jeff Johns
simple short story.
You can tell the Jeff Johns. I was gonna say you can tell the Jeff Johns isms in it because of the huge opening monologue in the beginning. That's Jeff Johns like written all over it, and I love that like you're trying to figure out who this narrator is, and then by the end of it you're like, bam, Red Lanterns. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So yeah, this was my second favorite of the Rebirth. Well,
Wait, hold up. You lagged, Kyle. I didn't catch what you said.
About the Green Lanterns, or
I did. Oh, what were you saying, Kyle? You lagged towards the end there.
oh, okay. I said, is that all you got to say on Green Lanterns?
Sean, I know you didn't get to read it, but what did you think when you kind of skimmed it?
Well, honestly, I can only just judge by the art, and so far I really like the art approach this time. I feel like it could be even better than New 52, especially since like Jeff Johns, he was like, "Hey, I want my children back." So, yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say about it. Plus,
Hal also made like a really cool concept for training with those two when he actually merged. He merged both of their power batteries into one power battery, and he basically said, now, in order to charge your rings, you both have to be together, so you can't just work alone. You guys are partners now, and you need to learn to collaborate because that's what the Corps is all about. And I'm like, look at you, Hal Jordan. You're actually being mature. You're not being a dickhead.
Yeah, and Hal Jordan didn't make me go green in this book, as I jokingly said on Facebook. So, also, hi Nathan. Hi Nathan Banks. How you doing?
What's up, Nate?
What's up, Nathan? Happy belated birthday, man.
Happy belated birthday.
This was a pretty awesome book. I really enjoyed it. And as a Green Lantern fan who hasn't been enjoying Green Lanterns outside of the extended Lantern books, I'm really happy.
Oh, plus I like Van Sciver's art. Yeah. And a lot of people that are actually familiar with his art, they kind of get on him with New X-Men. I didn't mind him with New X-Men for the short run that he did in there. So I didn't mind it.
I like both Van Sciver and Billy Tan. I feel like Billy Tan does really good Lantern art. I hope he's one of the artists that is on the rotation for this book.
True.
Yep.
Billy just does great artwork. Period. I love everything with Billy Tan.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, which book do you guys want to talk about next? We got Superman, Batman, and Green Arrow.
Hey, everything is that's all y'all, cause like I literally just picked up two things, Green Arrow and Green Lantern for Rebirth. Rebirth. I wasn't able to get my hands on the actual first issue of Rebirth because, as you know, it's selling out like it's no tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
the thing that sucks about it is the reprints are selling for, instead of doing $2.99, the reprints are selling for $5.99 now. So
Oh, that's oh, God. Yeah, see,
yeah,
Yes,
I
that
know,
he's
I know where to
really.
get it. It's cool. I know where to get it. Like I'm not too pressed about it because like it'll like they have the reprints here, but like I'm gonna just probably get it offline or whatever. So
yeah,
yeah,
Probably
I'm
like,
not too pressed about
probably like Comixology, I think, has it maybe for $2.99, I think.
yeah,
it.
probably. But yeah. So which one do you want? Which one do you want to go into, Kyle? Superman, Batman, or Green Arrow?
So, I think I'll start with my favorite, if that's right.
All
Green
right.
Arrow
Cool.
Rebirth by Benjamin Percy and Otto Schmidt.
Otto Schmidt. Yeah, Otto Schmidt does the art.
Oh, can I say one thing real quick? Can I say yeah? Grant Morrison, you look like Les Luthor, fam. Just
Grant Morrison does look like Lex Luthor. I never noticed it until I watched this documentary about him, and I'm like, oh my god, he does look like Lex Luthor, and he lives in a castle. You know that guy lives in a castle, like legit lives in a castle.
yeah,
it's
I heard about that. Oh, hold on, one moment. Keep talking, keep talking.
it's better than
Okay.
Alan Moore, who in the Stanley searching for Stanley thing gets in front of the camera and talks about like a band he was in, and I'm like, get out of the camera, Alan Moore.
No, but dude, Grant Morrison is living the life. Like really, like going on this tangent really quick. Grant Morrison is living the life. He lives in a castle in Scotland with his fetish model wife.
Oh,
Like, what in the world? Like,
yeah.
yo,
I get it.
I want to become your apprentice, Grant Morrison. Teach me your ways and your weird chaos magic.
Oh man. All I have to say about I'll say this about Green Arrow. And this isn't a versus thing. I'm more of a Hawkeye guy. Hawkeye resonates more with me as a character. I don't hate Green Arrow. He's just when I got into comics, it was New 52, and Green Arrow was one of the worst titles for New 52, with the exception of Jeff Lemire's
Oh,
run.
I can agree with that for sure.
I loved him in the Justice League cartoons, but that was about all. That was about it for my exposure. And trades for pre-New 52 stuff is a little bit hard to find. I'm not sure if DC's has been better at reprinting some of that stuff now, other than the Batman stuff. But this was a breath of fresh air. This was really good. This felt like Jeff Lemire's like Hawkeye a little bit. Not saying it was copying, but I don't know. I had a great time reading this. I loved. Black Canary and Green Arrow's just banter back and forth.
Dinah being back was fantastic. I love
Yeah,
that.
and I love the ending because it's so out of character, and and it's just like a moment for the fans. Finally, my name is Oliver Queen. And she just says finally, and it's just like, yeah, finally. It's
Yeah.
like, and I like the artwork. I know some people are I know some people don't like it because of how Diana looks with her pop, rock
Honestly,
slide.
honestly,
Yeah.
that was awesome. When I saw that page where she revealed what she looked like, I was like, "Oh, this is better than what we got in those design pages." Because I thought this was cool. I dig it. Like it's a little bit more biker, but I like it. I think her mom would be proud. I feel like that's pretty much the
Yeah.
same
And
costume.
also, I just want to say, I just want to say, Green Arrow being back is for this episode. This is oh man.
Yeah, definitely. This was probably my second favorite with Green Lanterns, because man, I just freaking love this book. As I was joking on Facebook, as I was reading this book, I was just like reunited, and it feels so good. I was just like, yes. All right. I was just like, there was a point where I was just sitting there. I'm like, all right, now kiss, hurry up, go ahead and do it. Oh, you're right there. Go ahead. Just and they went for the handshake, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll
It'll,
wait.
yeah. Oh, did I lag a little bit about what the thumbnail was going to be, or no?
Yeah, you did lag a little bit towards the end
Oh,
there.
okay. Well, I'm not sure if you guys saw. I said this will be the thumbnail for the episode for this episode. So that's what I want. But that's all I gotta say about Green Arrow this week.
Okay, cool. So, Superman or Batman?
You go ahead and pick.
Okay, well, I didn't like Batman as much, so I know, shocker, but we're gonna go with Superman, I guess. Where the hell did I put Superman? Wait. Hold on. Green Arrow. Superman. Here we go. Alright, so, I've said this multiple times. I'm not a Superman fan, but my dad is, and I was kind of, like, thrust into that growing up, and that's probably why I don't like him as much. But I actually enjoyed this issue a lot because like it was Clark, like pre-52 Clark that we all know and grew up with, kind of interacting in this New 52 world, and he got to interact with New 52 Lana, and at first Lana's all like, "Oh my God, Clark, you're back," and then it's just like, "Wait, you're not Clark. You have a hobo beard."
um, Also, just want to get out before I get, I guess, unless Jeremy, get your thoughts out before I give my quick thoughts on it, or.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I really liked it. I liked that I liked seeing what Superman thinks of his New 52 counterpart, and I liked kind of him reflecting on the things that New 52 Superman actually changed that pre-52 Superman never really thought about, like honoring his parents, honoring both sets of his parents in the Fortress of Solitude by making the statue of Martha and Jonathan Kent in there with him. I thought that was a really cool moment, and I like that he doesn't want to be involved in this because he's like, no, I came back. There's no way that this dude can't come back. And when he finds out that he can't come back, he's like, well, I guess I have to, put on the tights again, but I got to protect my family because, I've got a wife and kid to worry about.
John, are you flying through the air?
Okay, so now, like, okay, hold on, one moment.
You're fine.
I was like, whoa, where's all the whooshing coming from?
He's like Iron Man from the first movie with Elizabeth.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. No, my setup currently is right by my window, unfortunately, because I'm working on my PC. So like, yeah, I'm on my laptop right now.
That's fine.
So actually,
it's
cool. I can move. Yeah, let's move this. All right. All right. But anything else that you guys were talking about?
Oh yeah, well, I was pretty much done with my thoughts. Like I said, I just liked it. I think it was a good setup for and closure for the death of New 52 Superman. Even though they kill him right when I start to like him, it was weird, but good move on them, I guess. But I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes with Action Comics next week. So, what did you think about it, Kyle?
I liked the story. I thought the dialogue was really flat. Personally, I don't know. Like it felt like
it was pretty wordy. I feel there were a lot crammed into those bubbles.
It was just like it felt like Henry Cavill Superman, or just like Henry Cavill Superman is so bland. Like I like Henry Cavill as an actor, but his Superman is so just monosyllabic. And I'm not saying Superman has to go, I'm chipper. They're mourning, of course. New 52 Superman, but I like the story of Pre-52 Superman and Lana Lang taking his ashes and burying, New 52 Superman. I thought that was really good. There's kind of a metaphor there. Can you guys hear me still? Am I lagging or?
No, you're cool.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I hate to get into my metaphor.
You're on a roll. We just didn't want to interrupt you, and that you end up lagging. So like we were being quiet.
Okay. There's kind of a metaphor there with Superman, New 52 and Pre-New 52, Pre-52 Superman. We're kind of, with Superman, New 52 is kind of the New 52 rebranding, and we're burying that in this book. And we're, with the Pre-52 Superman, kind of embracing what made DC so great back in the day, just burying that, and I kind of like that. I'm not sure I'm reading into that.
That is a cool. I didn't even catch that the first time, but now that you mentioned it, it is kind of a rebirth in that way too. Whereas like the old Superman is coming back and taking his old mantle back, and it's kind of a rebirth of his old kind of persona. That's pretty. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, I don't know. I picked up on it. I was like, that's pretty neat. But yeah, I like the story. I just thought the dialogue was a little flat. We'll see. I'll give the first issue a try. But I know I'm picking up the Dan Jurgens book. With
Oh,
the art
Action
style.
Comic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
That's what I'm getting next week too. Definitely.
And also, I just want to make sure we get these out. I want to give the credit to the people that made this. Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason wrote this, and artwork was done by Doug Mankey. It was really good artwork.
Yeah, Doug
So
Mankey's art is usually pretty solid. DC in the art department has always been really good, though. I feel like.
Oh, so
yeah,
we just had a conversation. We just had a conversation about that. Like, as far as like the big two goes, well, technically now the big three. Um, yeah, DC will always have art, and Marvel will always have the story. Like, if you really like want to get down to it, like not as like a whole, but for like the predominant,
Yeah,
like
not saying Marvel doesn't have like great art and great artists, but mostly where Marvel really excels is storytelling, and where
yeah.
DC, at least within the past 5 years, has really excelled is the art.
yeah. But yeah. Is that all we got to say on Superman?
Well, yeah, so I guess we got to move on to Batman. And I got to say, I was a little disappointed in this book. I was a little disappointed in this book because it was kind of just random, just a random mission and didn't really have anything to like set up the story like the other ones did. This was Batman versus Calendar Man, but like not generic cheesy holiday themed Calendar Man who like attacks you, tries to kill everyone's mother on Mother's Day or something like that. This is like weird Scott Snyder body horror Calendar Man whose like life cycle is connected to the seasons, so he's like aging and shit with the seasons, and he dies in winter and is reborn during the spring, and he comes back stronger every time he dies, like he's some kind of Saiyan.
It was when he's lying on the floor. I guess is a prison cell, and you just see an old like dead-looking Calendar Man, and you just see a hand come out of his mouth. I was like, I did not need to see that.
That's how you, because it's co-written by Scott Snyder with Tom King, and I'm like, that's Scott Snyder. That's totally Scott Snyder. That's some witches shit. That's some shit you would say in witches. Oh my god. I was like, okay, that freaked me out. I did not need to see that. And then we got Bruce Wayne like basically kind of outshowing Oliver Queen by like doing kind of a Captain America impression because he was pulling himself up by those freaking building rails. I was like, dude, really? Is that necessary? You're just gonna work out on your helipad, like half naked, you just want like the entire city to just look at you and be like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Batman. That's why I'm Batman.
Yeah, like I am clearly Batman because only Batman would be able to do this.
I like the new costume. I like the artist, Michael Janin. I like how he draws.
Yeah, Mikhail Janin. I think it's Mikhail. Yeah, something like that.
Mikhail, yeah. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. He did the artwork, and I like how he draws it. It's different from Greg Capullo, and
I like the purple. I like the purple in it. The purple is a nice touch.
Yeah, and the one thing I found very jarring, just because of when I started reading Batman, was New 52. It was a little bit weird not seeing Greg Capullo. It was just like, oh man, I don't know. It was a little bit jarring. I was like, I'm not used to seeing like.
Yeah. I feel like there is going to be an adjustment period because like Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo have been on it literally since the beginning. So there's going to be probably the biggest adjustment period with this title. But I think it's pretty interesting. I don't know how to feel about Duke because I feel like they're trying too hard with this character to make him relevant, but he's not really needed.
Yeah, and I talked to you about his outfit. You want me to?
No, go ahead and go ahead and say that joke because that was hilarious.
Okay, so there was a cartoon before Transformers Prime, the one everyone really loves, for Transformers, and Bumblebee in that show. There was an annoying girl in that show. She was a little girl. But Duke was like
Transformers animated.
Yep, yeah, Transformers animated. That's the one.
I think it was during
All right,
mid
so
2000s.
found the costume. So just so you have a visual reference for Kyle's joke, there's the costume right there. That
But
bright ass yellow costume.
it looks like Bumblebee's outfit. It looked like Bumblebee. Um, just what I would imagine someone, going to get a Halloween costume and dressing up as Bumblebee, just less bulky. I was like, it looks like Bumblebee's costume. And I was like, oh my god. But, uh,
Yeah, so now we're gonna just officially refer to Duke as Bumblebat because
yep, we are.
I was actually getting ready to pick that up, because man, I keep mentioning, like DC has the art on point, and I was just like kind of skimming through it, and I was just you know what, I'll save a few bucks. But I do want to give most of Rebirth a try, and man, that Batman, like just the two covers, preferably the one where he's holding the Batarang, like that kind of sold me. But like I said, it was just something in the back of my head saying, "Hold off on this one." So I'm kind of glad.
you made the right call on that one because I feel like this was like not saying this was a bad issue, but I feel like this was the weakest one out
And
of this batch.
and it was
All
really
right.
it was really short too. Like the other ones have like little short stories.
And it's weird because I think that's my main complaint. Oh, sorry to cut you off, Kyle. I thought you had stopped right there. But my main complaint about Rebirth, and this is just a small nitpick, and I guess this is the whole reason they could drop the price down so low. There's a shit ton of ads in here. Like this is like mostly it's like 75% story, 25% ads. Like you'll see an ad like every 3 pages, and I'm like, okay. I'm like I've seen the Overwatch commercials. I know what Overwatch is. You don't need to tell me.
Right.
But yeah, it wasn't bad. It was just the weakest. I still think Green Arrow and Green Lanterns were probably the best. So.
Yep.
And those are the
Um,
ones I picked up.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on Wonder Woman next week, and it's eventually the Deathstroke book because those are the ones
Yeah.
that are just up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I'm skipping out. Despite shots. Sorry, Scott. I'm skipping out on that. I'm skipping out on that. I'm sorry.
I mean, like, I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. Kyle, I don't know because Christopher Priest had like the best Black Panther run up until the current run started. Christopher Priest had the definitive Black Panther run. I think he could save the stroke. I think he can save the stroke.
Literally, Christopher Priest could literally be the savior of the stroke. See, look, he even calls it the stroke. I like you. Let's go. So yeah, and I have faith in Christopher Priest. Not even just because it's Deathstroke, but just like literally. I mean, look at his catalog. Look at his archive, and just like you'll. Just,
And
let's
to be fair, before Priest's run, Black Panther was kind of just not there. Like he was cool, but you never really saw him, and you never got to know what he was about until we got Christopher Priest's run.
right.
And, yeah,
That's
and that
fair.
yep, and that's where we got all the cool stuff like T'Chaka versus Captain America in during World War II, and that was badass.
Exactly.
That's
So
totally fair. I mean, I think it's just kind of like that Punisher. No matter,
Yeah.
you get Ed Brubaker. I'm not gonna read.
I know that the anti-hero type isn't really your thing, so I understand why you're not you wouldn't be as eager to jump onto the Deathstroke bandwagon.
join the stroke. Join the stroke, sir. Stroke game strong. Stroke game strong. Damn it.
We're just.
That's is that all the DC, Jeremy? Sorry.
That's pretty much all the Rebirth we've got. So I guess I can talk about the two indie books I've got, and they're both kind of derived from my childhood nostalgia. So we're gonna go ahead and get into these.
Okay.
First one is from Boom Studios, and it is Pink Ranger, 1 of 6. This is awesome. This is freaking awesome. I've had look, when I growing up watching Power Rangers, I always had a crush on Kimberly. So I was like, I gotta give this a try. So this takes place after Kimberly retires from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and she's kind of
Oh,
in that transition between like just quitting the Rangers and becoming an Olympian. So she's like training for the Olympics and stuff. And so she's living in Paris, and and she has like her family and whatnot. But then all of a sudden her town is all deserted and like nobody's there. And then like so she decides to like gear up. So she's putting on this whole costume, and she puts together like this Mad Max looking biker outfit you see here. And then when she investigates the town, she sees all these freaking monsters, and she's like, "Oh shit, not again!" And so she has to go save her family. Pretty much is like the whole premise of this first issue. And she ends up calling up Zordon, and it's like, "Hey, I could use the Rangers' help." And he's like, "Sorry, Kim, the Rangers are in space fighting Lord Zed, so they won't be able to help you right now. But because you didn't transfer over your power using the Sword of Light, you still have residual Ranger energy in you, so we can temporarily power you and make you the Pink Ranger again." And so they power her up, and they're like, "We can help you. We can help guide you through the mission. Let's do this. Are you ready for one last run?" And she's like, "It's morphin' time." And I'm like, "All right, I'm sold. I'm on board for this. I'm definitely a hardcore Mighty Morphin fan, and if you're also a fan of that era of Power Rangers, I feel like you would enjoy this. Art's really good. Like that was one of the things that really drew me to it was the art and the action scenes, especially this shit right here. Like when they went into the cave with all the monsters, I was
oh
like,
man, I like
okay,
the art. Yeah, yeah, I like that art.
yeah, it's really cool. Uh, it's only a mini, so like it's nothing that I have to get super invested in. So I think it's cool, and it tells you it's a time in Power Rangers you didn't really get to see before, so that's awesome.
Man,
So so yeah, what were you gonna say?
no, I want to give that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers book that you were trying to get me to read. I want to give it a try.
Yeah,
Um,
it's really good. Yeah, it's really good. I feel like Higgins really kind of brings his A game for that one.
Cause it seems like it's just full on nostalgia, and I'm just like, man, it
Yeah,
catches you, it
yeah,
catches you.
it's nostalgia mixed with modern times because like Bulk and Skull have a YouTube channel. Um, Bulk and Skull have a YouTube channel. You know how Zach from the Black Ranger, Zach was a hip hop dancer, right? So he's talking about making choreography routines to ASAP Rocky and stuff. I'm like, whoa, you're talking about modern music. This is not 1993. What is going on?
Nice.
And I'm
All
like, oh,
right.
this is cool. Yeah, I think you'd like it, especially if you got that nostalgia for the Mighty Morphin era. Um, it's definitely both series are definitely ones I would recommend. And speaking of nostalgia, we're gonna go down to Disney Town real quick,
All
and
right.
we're gonna get dangerous with Darkwing Duck issue number
Oh,
2.
oh no, 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 no! There's a Darkwing Duck comic. Oh, oh, you already
Wow.
know. All right.
Yep, Darkwing Duck issue number 2, and this is freaking awesome. Hold
I'm
up, I
trying
gotta.
to save money here. Come on, God dang it. Oh, you're
Uh,
not helping. Damn it, God.
oh my God, hold on, I gotta give credit to these people because man, this book made me feel like I was watching an episode. It's done by Aaron Sparrow and James Salvani, and the art is by Andrew Dollhouse. And this artwork is straight up out of the cartoon. Like, oh my God, this is so cool. And it's pretty much Darkwing Duck's Arkham Asylum because Negaduck has Darkwing, Goslin, and Launchpad trapped inside their super prison, and he
Dude,
Right.
let all their criminals loose, and they're attacking Darkwing all at once. So you got the Liquidator, you've got Megavolt, you've got Negaduck, you've got the Killer Croc equivalent, whose name I can't remember, and you got Goslin just sneaking through the vents, kicking ass and taking names on ninja style, trying to help her dad. And then Negaduck sees her on the monitors, and he's like, you guys can have Darkwing. The little one's mine. And I'm like, oh no, they're going after Goslin. This is not good, guys. This is not good.
Oh
I
man,
felt, I felt, I felt like a little kid again. This is great.
you really make me want to read that. I'm not gonna lie because like I used to love the best out of Darkwing Duck and Tailspin and everything. Like oh my god. All right, so
Yep, Disney Afternoon is making a comeback. I'm just saying.
oh man. All right, I
If
will
they, if they if they reboot the Gargoyles comics, I'm all in.
calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. Look. We like us and Keith David want that. All right, like so yeah.
Oh man.
Anything else for your indies?
That's pretty much it. I had a pretty light indie week this week, so now we can jump into Marvel. So where
Oh,
do you want to start with Marvel, Kyle? Oh wait,
oh,
what's up?
oh, I have some indies.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
All right, so I was actually able to pick up because I was out of town for a minute, and even then, like I didn't even get to finish the books I picked up before then. So now I come back and bank account. So no, um, I or not Punisher. Aliens Defiance, issue 2, which man, look, like I said
How many
before.
face huggers were in this book? How many
A
face
lot,
huggers were in?
a lot, a lot.
Oh,
Chris, I'm gonna
so
get
you're
you to read
saying
this book. Chris,
so you're
I'm,
saying we need to send this to Chris is what you're
Chris, I'm
saying?
gonna get you to read this book. You will conquer your fear, man. So, like, literally, there's a face hugger. There's a face hugger that looks like a vagina on the front cover. So, like, yeah, like, please, Chris, read this book. Please read this book. It is funny and actually, no, not funny. I'm only saying it's funny because your fear. But no, seriously, it's a great book. The protagonist I freaking love because she's like a Ripley. She's like Ripley if Ripley was like completely like how do I put it? She's like a mix between Ripley and Furiosa. Yeah,
Oh, that
like in
sounds
my opinion.
awesome. That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
except for she's like extra cautious. Like she's like I've never seen this before. What's going on? All these face huggers, xenomorphs, all that, and all the androids and stuff. So like yeah, so highly recommended. This is actually the first Aliens book I've recommended in a while. Not to say that any of them like have sucked, but most definitely haven't met this criteria. So I highly recommend this book.
And there are only 2 issues so far, right? I
Yeah,
might have to check this out. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check this out.
and the second book I picked up was The Goddamned, which is by Jason Aaron and Gaola Brusco. And
Uh-huh.
basically, if you don't know what the story is about, it's about um, well, Adam and Eve. They have children or whatever, and one is life, one is death. And so one of them gets placed on Earth, and you don't really get to find out that he's their son up until like the second issue, but like I didn't spoil it for you because like at the end of or end of the first issue, it kind of gives you like a little clue like hold on, something isn't right here because everybody else in this world is born with scars and stuff like that, but he doesn't have a single scar on his body and he can't die. Which he's trying to commit suicide. He's trying to like basically just off himself any and every way possible. He's even like gone so far to just literally walk into war just like butt ass naked and like literally just nothing. Like he just comes right back. So he's pretty depressed.
Oh
But the
man.
story is like a mix between like an even more savage or prehistoric 10,000 BC mixed with Mad Max. And it's just all man. Like I love this book, man. Issue number 4. If not, just wait for the trade to come out because I think the trade comes out right at the beginning of next month. So yeah,
Oh,
check
cool.
that
Yeah,
out.
it sounds pretty awesome, and I love it. Pretty much everything Jason Aaron writes. Even back when he started with Wolverine and Scouts, like great stuff.
Yeah, Jason Aaron's the man.
Most definitely,
Um,
most definitely.
And he has like the coolest beard. He also has the coolest beard of all time. Like he pulled
mhm.
he pulled a sword out of that thing. That was cool.
True, true.
Oh man.
Another indie that I got to pick up was one another. Well, I'm pretty much gonna recommend that you read all the indies that I'm reading right now because they're just great. Um, Unfollow, which is basically like I was saying before. It's like the Hunger Games meets social media meets man, it's a lot of things. No. It's like the Hunger Games meets social media meets the Purge. Like it's crazy. So like it's just an all-out great story so far. And shoot, issue number 8 just came out this week. So I highly recommend that you pick up the trade, which is easily priced at $10. And yeah, just please
Nice.
unfollow.
Vertigo's doing it right by pricing these image prices now. Sweet.
Yeah, man, most definitely. And then last but not least, Tokyo Ghost number 6 and 7. I picked up issue 6 3 weeks ago, but like I've been very busy, so I haven't been able to read it. What's up, Chris?
Oh, hey, Chris, we
Um,
were just talking about you and like how Sean is gonna send you a book.
yeah, man. Face huggers. So
Oh, God.
but yeah, Tokyo Ghost number 6 and number 7. Highly recommended. Well, wait, no, I can't recommend it because I actually haven't read it yet. So
Isn't
I
it?
highly
And it's ending at 10 though. Unfortunately, from what I hear, it's ending at 10.
yeah.
They're ending the series at 10. A lot of the series I like from Image are actually ending really quickly because they're ending the violence at issue 6, which pissed me off because that's a
Yeah.
great story that more people should freaking read because it's so gripping, it's so gritty, it's so real. I was just
Wait.
like,
So you like the Violet?
yeah, I like the violent. I mean,
Oh my God! Yes. All right. Cool.
because like
Uh,
I read that first issue and I was like, man, did this dude just leave his kid in the car? What is going on? It's really great, guys. Like it's one of those real like this actually you could see it as like real life events played out in comic form, and the main characters are so flawed and fucked up that you can't help but feel for them, and it's such a like it's a really gripping story, which I'm so mad is only going to be a 6 issue miniseries because nobody told me in the beginning that it was going to be a 6 issue miniseries, so I wasn't ready for that.
So
And
well, go ahead.
also they're ending Cry Havoc at issue 6, which I'm pissed off about too
Yeah,
because
I heard about that too.
that's like the best werewolf series I'm reading right now, and that's not cool.
Man, like to be honest with you, like with the Violet, it's basically like a. It basically shows basic human nature, which is really messed up. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
and
I'll agree with you on that one.
and for all those who start the series, just be warned. Issue 3 is probably gonna be like the most mortifying moment so far. Um, and then like
It's
issue 4 kind of like settles it out just a little bit. Um,
it's definitely not for the faint of heart. There's bad language, there's drug use, there's sex, there's violence, there's child abuse, there's so much just dark and twisted shit. But
and
like
there's a dog. There's a dog. Be warned about the
no,
dog. All right.
oh no, we're not gonna get into all that. Nope,
All right.
nope, because that was hard to process.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, the violence is great. That's definitely one I recommend if you can stomach it.
So yeah, that's I have a I have a whole like other haul of indie books, but I'm not gonna really go into them because I'm trying to like I don't know, just kind of keep it moving. But if anybody else, especially like Chris, I don't know if you have any indies that you want to talk about.
yeah, because we're about to just get into Marvel.
Yeah.
But
So Chris, do you have any indies you want to bring up?
is his mic muted? I can't hear him.
I think his mic's either
Uh,
muted or he's drunk.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think. Oh,
yeah. I think Chris's mic's muted. We can't hear
oh.
you, dude.
Also,
What's up?
hello,
I
Jacob
think.
Harper.
I think.
Oh, hey, Jacob.
What's up, Jacob?
Yeah. I'll just read a couple comments while Chris is uh
Adjusting.
Yeah. Jacob Harper says, "Yo, Chris is here." Yes, he is. Nathan Bang says, "Hey, Chris." And PC Veteran 117 says, "Anyone reading Aliens Defiance? Amanda Ripley makes a cameo in that book."
Oh boy. Okay. So
See, Sean, you're not alone now. There is one other person reading Alien Defiance.
Wow.
wait,
Okay.
did
So
he?
Amanda. Okay. Cool. So Amanda
Wait,
from Alien Isolation is gonna make a cameo. That's awesome.
wait. So is he asking, or is he just
Oh,
saying?
he's saying that Ripley's daughter from Isolation shows up.
And
Yeah.
he also
So.
said if anybody reading Aliens Defiance. So
Oh
So
yeah. Okay.
that was directed right at you.
All
hmm
right. Yeah. Yeah. Alien Defiance is great, and like I was saying before, it's probably one of the first Alien slash just I don't know, just overall like man, it's just so great. It leaves me just like so confused just to talk about it, but like all in all, one of the best protagonists in comics right now.
And apparently this is what Sean recommends for Chris to have like total immersion therapy so that he can get over his fear of face huggers.
Oh my God.
No, like
You and
seriously,
Chris are
seriously.
just gonna have it out one of these days.
You gotta just go with the flow, okay? Like if I can get over Phantasm and the Thing, you can get over these facehuggers, man. Like you got this, all right? Like, but no. To answer your question, yes. Aliens Defiance is great. I love it, especially the artwork, man. Like I just, it. Brian Wood on that script is great. Tristan Jones, like great artist, and just even the lettering, man. I really feel like the lettering
Brian Wood's
pops.
writing it. Brian Wood
Yeah,
does great Aliens books. Whenever
yeah.
Brian Wood does Aliens books, they're awesome. So
Oh,
I'm definitely on board because his Predator series was pretty awesome too.
and
Mhm.
what was I gonna say? The which I'm gonna get to that in just a sec too. Even the lettering, because Nate Piakos, I forgot how to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry, dude. Um, the illustration of the lettering, it just man, it really pops out at you, and it just makes you like more immersed into the actual story. And just overall, like just great book. There's no reason why you should not be reading this book. Like, please, like, go ahead. Like, even if you're afraid of facehuggers, like some people, um, like,
You just keep coming at him. You just keep coming at him. You just keep coming at him.
you just gotta go for
The man's mic's not even working, so he can't defend himself.
it. But nah, like overall, like excellent book. So far. So and like he said, Ripley's daughter is gonna be premiering in the book, so that's a
Oh man,
plus. Yeah, so
that's
most
so
definitely
exciting. That's so
Aliens
exciting because
Defiance.
I love. That's so exciting to hear she's gonna make a cameo because I loved Alien Isolation. I know some reviewers were really hard on it, but I
That
really
was
love
a
that.
good game. That was a
Dude, that
good
game was
game.
great. That game was literally great. And horror games don't usually make me jump, but like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes when the xenomorph came dropping down from the ceiling in the
Nah,
books,
man. Ever since any time a xenomorph is an event, you can guarantee I'm gonna be scared as shit because that shit is freaky, man.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
And matter of fact, you
oh,
know
good.
what? Not to get too much off topic, but like that game was so spot on. Just like literally got the music, it got the sound effects, even the guns. They even got the original gun sound effects. I'm like, yes, like that game is
Yeah, that was
great.
really cool.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Definitely served the nostalgia for Alien fans.
Mm-hmm. Um. So is that all your indie, Sean?
Yep.
I
Well,
think that's
so
all. I'm gonna cut it off at because like I have like plenty of other indie books that I can recommend, but yeah, I just just want to keep the train moving.
I mean, if you got some others from this week, go ahead. I mean, if you got some for this rest of this week, you can keep going. I mean, the show goes for as long, and you just recommend stuff. I mean, it's fine. So if you want to keep going, because I'm trying to set up something right now.
oh yeah,
If you,
oh yeah.
so
Did you get the new issue of Monstrous, Sean? Did you read that yet?
I picked it up today, and no, I have not read it. But I have a feeling that it's most man. I'm telling you, I know you said that you stopped. You put it down for now, and you're just gonna collect it and trade.
I bought the first issue and I'm like, this is good, but I feel like this would be a better trade read.
It picks up, man. It really does. Like the story is like really just it's Majori Lu, so like you kind of have an idea of what to expect, and it's not too over the top. Like it's literally like it's not. What I like about Majori Lu is her books that she's done so far. Like she like does the women empowerment thing or the female empowerment thing, but like she's
Yep.
not like really in your face with it. But because like
Right.
I like the equal turns with it. That's what I really like about it, and overall, just the artwork
It
too.
also seems it also is very old school fantasy, which I like a lot. And from what I read from that oversized first issue, it borrows from a lot of different like religious undertones that I like.
Yeah,
It kind of reminds me of like the last Airbender world, which I thought was really cool.
it reminds me of that and just all out just Final Fantasy. And if a game
Yeah.
that some of you might have played, I don't know, Lost Odyssey for Xbox 360 back in the day. Um, yeah, easily a very good story. Yeah, and once again, there's no reason why you shouldn't read that. Very good. But other indies that I picked up, Spawn issue number 263. I haven't read that because once again, I'm pretty busy. I'm pretty busy most of the time. So like literally, I have like a herd of books that I literally just gotta like mow through one day. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm glad that Al Simmons is finally, well, at least from the Satan saga, Satan Moore saga. He finally found his peace with Wanda. He's finally out of hell, and he is now not necessarily a free man, but he is technically, in a sense, now a hero. He's not an anti-hero anymore. Or I can't say he's not an anti-hero, but like for the most part, he's gonna be taking the hero approach to things, and he's gonna actually be trying to do like good overall.
Oh, so
Mhm.
So
he's just not gonna be standing in the rain yelling Wanda all the time.
pretty
What?
much, yeah, pretty much,
No,
pretty much.
no, because I'm telling you, Kyle. Like, if you read
Oh,
'90s
I know.
Spawn comics, it's essentially like Scott in the X-Men animated series with Jean. Jean,
Oh, I know. I know. Trust me.
Jean.
It
Also,
wasn't as bad though. It wasn't as bad though.
also
Yeah.
Jacob Harper was like, "Wow, someone else reading Spawn." Yeah, I've never met anyone that's actually read Spawn personally myself either. So,
Yeah,
except for
I dropped Spawn honestly right after Todd or like kind of like when Todd left the first time
I see.
because like
I left when what's his face Jim Downing came on. That's when I
oh
left.
oh god um matter of fact no, you know what, I actually left Spawn twice. I left right after his fight with Urizen, and which was that was in a sense like they literally could have ended the series like right after that. And then I came back because I saw that he was gonna go and face Malboja and basically like defeat him and take the throne. So like I came back for that, and then after that I was like, nope, I'm out. So I came back because of Satan Saga Wars. I just the cover alone, I was like, is that Alan Wanda? Okay, all right, I gotta go in. So I feel like in a sense, like right there, he could have easily have ended Spawn, but Todd said, "Nah, I'm gonna keep my baby going." So yeah, I'm gonna see where this goes with issue number 263. Um, most definitely, man.
Yeah, and Eric Larson's on art too, and that looks pretty great. I
Exactly.
didn't know he would be. I didn't know he would be that good with Spawn. I haven't seen him outside of so. Which, by the way, Savage Dragon is also really good. If you guys haven't been reading Savage Dragon, because it's leading up to his other series that he's going to end up doing called Savage Dragon: The Next Generation with all of Malcolm's kids, and it's going to be pretty badass.
True, true, true. I'm most definitely gonna give that a try. Now, I decided to. Well, no, actually, I didn't even pay for this. My friend actually gave this to me. Um, he gave me the Invincible. I'm just gonna call it for what it is. It's a collector set of the first few volumes, and honestly, I like what they did with that because it really brought me back to like just like when it first started, and I was like, man, like, do I even want another Invincible? Like, because like this is so good. It's like, do we really even need to continue it? I feel like they should just really just end the series. But since they are gonna be, redoing it or not redoing it, just doing the new chapter or arc, better yet. Um,
Yep.
Why not? Why not?
I think I think Invincible is the best Kirkman book that they've got going though. So that's the one I don't want to end yet. I feel like Walking Dead can end because I don't like it.
Yes. Yes.
But
Look, which okay, since you brought up Walking Dead, I don't think it should end. I think it should just most definitely take like a newer approach. I don't know how, just do something with it because like the whole arguably like Walking Dead is like a gift and a curse to like I guess like the genre that we know as zombies because like now when we think of zombies it's automatically Walking Dead and I feel like it kind of like in a sense just kind of like monetized it or like over monetized it a little bit to where like even the comic like from the show got like very just watered down. Which I have a few friends that
I feel
like
you. Zombie needs to get more love. I feel like because Zombie is like
yeah
one of the best zombie series that's out right now. Well, at least TV show wise. And I love the
iZombie
comic too.
iZombie first off look bring that series back, okay? I love it. You saw the statue I posted up in the freaking message board, all right? So like, I was
Oh
getting ready to
man.
do it. I was really getting ready to do it. Like, I was really getting ready to do it. Please, 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 bring that back. I love
I
it.
mean, yeah, and it only lasted 25 issues too, so I feel like they could definitely continue from where they left off.
Oh wow,
Shoot,
I
man,
thought
I
it
don't know. Make freaking Liz pregnant. I don't care. Like, just do something, man. Bring that back. It's too good to be dead. No. Chris, is your mic fixed?
I think he's. I think he's
I think he
eating.
can
I
hear us,
can't.
but we can't hear him. Okay.
For some, or maybe it's just muted and he's eating or something. I think he probably got off his work or something like that. But
It's cool.
yeah, this was fine. But I do want to say, Jacob Harper, I know you're asking Chris some questions. Whenever he's finished with whatever he's doing, I don't want to speak for him, but he'll get to those. I'm just not
Yeah,
ignoring.
don't
I'm just not
don't
ignoring
worry
him.
about that. Jacob's Chris's old buddy. Chris will get to him.
Okay, I
Uh,
just don't want him to think we're ignoring him because I haven't answered some of his questions. I just didn't want. So, um,
let's see.
uh,
Um,
Sean, if that's all you got, me and Jeremy can just go to Marvel and then we can get to the Q&A if you want. So,
Okay,
because we
that's
got
cool.
some, because
yeah,
we
I
have the
think I'm pretty.
DC.
Yeah.
Oh, because we got DC, Indie, Marvel, and then me and Jeremy are gonna. There's news, but there's like very little. And
Oh
then
yeah,
me and Jeremy are gonna.
and then we can talk about X-Men Apocalypse because I know you're more on my end of the spectrum with how you feel about it, and Kyle's on the opposite end. So it'll be interesting to see how this. We'll see how this plays out because it's going to be interesting.
Well, I mean, it's just gonna be spoiler-free thoughts. We're not gonna like debate until
Oh,
like the round
oh
table.
yeah, oh yeah. We're not going to fully
All
talk
right.
about it till the roundtable, but it's just going to be spoiler free what we initially thought about it going in.
All right, because I was gonna go in. All right, so I'm glad you said
No,
that.
but not yet though. We'll get to there. We got to get through Marvel first.
All right.
Okay. So, Jeremy, is it okay if I start off? And just
Yeah, go ahead, man. It's all you.
okay.
Oh
All
wait,
right.
wait, wait.
So.
I think Chris is trying to do something. Oh,
Oh,
Okay. I think
wait,
because my
wait.
weird.
oh, all right.
Yeah, hold up, wait. Yeah, because his screen's just black. Oh wait, nope. Wait, he's coming back. He's coming back. We're waiting.
All right, because I know that he probably want to talk about this subject that we're going to talk about as far as Marvel. So,
So we got 7 viewers. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. Hope everyone's having a good night. I know we are. So thank you
Yeah,
guys.
this is definitely fun.
oh,
Okay, you guys hear me?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
yeah,
There
we
you
can
go.
hear you.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, Chris.
Now,
What?
what was going on? Who's here?
Jacob Barker, he's got some
Jacob's
questions.
here, and
Jacob?
he was asking questions. Yep.
Are they mine?
Yeah, they're asking. He's asking you if you read the Shadow series and if you
That
picked
was
up
the
the
spirit.
Shadow series. No, he asked if he had picked up the Shadow series yet, and are you still reading the Spirit?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have the comment window popped up, so I'm looking at it.
I had it too. I was doing your job, my
Yeah,
bad.
no, yeah, it's cool. It's good. It's good that both of us have it covering the bases in case one of us misses.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's what Jacob was asking you, Chris.
Death of Margot Lane. Yeah, I picked it up, Jacob. I picked it up. There you go. See. And if you're talking about the latest Spirit, yeah, I did. Of course, I did.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
you missed us talking about Darkwing Duck, Chris. I got Sean to pick up Darkwing Duck because I showed.
yeah. What else did he have any other questions for me?
That's pretty much it. Oh, and he said thanks for recommending Legend of Oz: Wicked West.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a good series. It ended though, but it was a good series.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Are we
yeah.
still on Indie or are we going to Marvel first?
Oh,
If you want to talk about
we were on indies, and then we were about to go into Marvel. But if you want to quickly touch on some of the indies you got before we move on, just like kind of lightning round it.
Okay, I'll go real quick. I showed you these Spirit and Shadow, of course. You guys know I love my pulp era heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody did everybody talk about Power Ranger Pink?
Oh yeah, I did, and that was great. I liked it a lot.
Ms. Fury, #3. This was really good. I like Jonathan Lau's artwork, beautiful artwork. And 2 Xenoscope books that I picked up this week. The final issue of Red Agent, which was good. It went kind of quick though, because I went through this really quick. It was more action based than dialogue. But
That's the one on Red, right?
Yeah, with Red Riding Hood.
Nice.
And the latest I picked up was Joe Bushima's Death Force. Vengeance takes a form.
Dude, I actually wanted to pick that up because I saw that today. I walked into the store, and just something made me hesitate. Like, have you already read that?
Yeah, I did. I read it.
What's like the premise of it?
Okay. Basically, you got a young rookie cop. His name is Rick Murphy. He's has got a baby. He's got a new career. Based in Philly. And basically, he's just a good cop. You know, he's got a girlfriend. He's pregnant. He's going to be a father. And then there's a riot crime. There's a riot. He gets involved. Unfortunately, he sees something that he's not supposed to see. The chief of police doing something that he wasn't supposed to see. And the storytelling, I've seen the storytelling done before, and he gets beaten up pretty badly at the end. And I guess basically it kind of gives you a glimpse of what's going to happen to him. And basically it says, the beginning even says, it's like Rick Murphy is a regular guy who starting a new family and a new career as a Philadelphia police officer. But when the rookie cop stumbles upon the wrong case, it triggers a horrifying tragedy as his life becomes crumbling down. Devastated and broken, Rick is given the chance to seek revenge on those who destroyed his life. Now, with a dark and mysterious power at his fingertips, Rick can seek the vengeance he thirsts for, but will the darkness ultimately be too much for him or to control? So basically, that's pretty much it.
So Necromancy Punisher. That's pretty cool.
Much basically, that's kind of the basis of it. But that's all the info that I picked up. That's all.
Would have been in RoboCop because of the beginning of the origin.
I did get a little RoboCop in there too.
RoboCop, definitely.
Oh yeah, and happy Dark Horse Day, guys. Yeah, I did not know that until I walked into the store that it was a 30th anniversary. So yeah, even though I'm only reading one book, which I highly recommend Chris reads, Aliens Defiance.
There's gonna be a war here in a minute.
There's gonna be a Civil War 2 on this panel, and
I still need to pick up. I still need to finish. I got to pick up the Predator book that came out. So.
Yeah. And
the Predator book was pretty good. From what I've flipped through, it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Hey,
you
Jeremy.
know what? Go ahead.
What's up, Kyle?
Jeremy, you know that episode of Game of Thrones when Joffrey is slapping? Well, no, wait. When Tyrion is slapping Joffrey around? That's gonna be Chris. That's gonna be Chris slapping Sean.
Leave me alone.
So you're saying Sean is gonna get imp slapped? Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
Oh,
I
Oh,
wouldn't.
more
oh man.
Chris slapped. He's gonna get Chris slapped. It's like so.
Oh man.
Anyway, anyway,
No.
we can move on to the Marvel stuff. That's pretty much.
If you don't, so you don't want to just like talk about real quick about the DC stuff since you kind of came in after we talked about DC.
Oh, okay. All right. I only picked up three DC. Uh, the Batman,
Okay.
um, Rebirth. I have full on board with where Mr. King is going to take this.
What did you think about Body Horror Calendar Man? Like the
I actually like that twist. I was like, wow, that's a good twist to Calendar Man. I thought that was really interesting. I said
Mhm.
it in my own review. I was like, I like that twist, and I like what Bruce is doing with Duke. He even says it. I'm not trying to make you Robin.
see Kyle and Sean actually came up with a new name for Duke. We're calling him Bumblebat because
Oh,
his,
because of his yellow.
because his
Okay,
costume looks like
the
Bumblebee.
costume is a little weird because it's yellow, and I'm like, yeah, he looks like a bee.
It's like
But other
fun.
than that, this was a good start, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to what comes next. But out of the DC books, this was probably my favorite. This was my favorite.
I'm telling you, man. But you gotta read this one though. You gotta read this one though because Kyle actually this was Kyle's favorite, and I was really surprised when Kyle told me that. I was like, whoa.
Interesting.
Reason why I like this so much was that they really put the emphasis on something that we fans have always talked about is why are there so many Earthling Green Lanterns? And we don't know who's talking about it. And I like that they went that way. Like somebody's monologuing about the Earthling Green Lanterns, and we're thinking, oh, it's just the Guardians, until we see who it is at the end. But I
Yeah.
like what kind of Jessica and Simon, they don't get along real. It's just like, oh, hey, a fellow Green Lantern, it's good to meet you. No, it's like it's almost trying to figure out who's bigger than each other. Like Simon came off a little bit like I'm a better Green Lantern than you, Jessica. Uh,
I
but I
love, I
did
love
like
how much of a rookie Jessica is. She's like, yeah, I'm the Green Lantern of Sector 28 something something.
yeah, and the ring got to tell her what it is. But I like what Hal did in this. Like he gave them a test and they kind of failed. I was like, whoa, okay. And then he even said it like I like how Hal said, okay, bring out your lanterns. They bring them out, and then he merges both of their lanterns together, and was like, okay, the only way you get to use it now is you got to be together. And I was like, okay, that puts a little bit of a dynamic on it, which I like, and I also like that Hal even admits, like, I can't be here to monitor you. I can't be here to be like mentoring you because I got to deal with Sinestro. And he says, but here's so, and it also gives us a reason why these two are on the Justice League. So I'm like, okay, I like that.
And I
So
like
so so who do you think is my bad, Kyle? So who do you think
uh,
is the Murtaugh and who do you think is the Riggs, Chris?
Um, I
I asked
think
I asked Kyle this before and he gave
I
me
think I think Jessica will be the Murtaugh and
yes, that's
Simon's gonna be the Riggs.
that's what we were thinking too. That's exactly what we were
I'm
thinking.
thinking that's how it's gonna be or based off of because and I'm also interested in figuring out the people um that are monitoring Simon after the incident that he did when he had that bomb.
Hmm.
Why are they so interested in the Green Lantern Corps? It's like you provide us information about the Green Lantern Corps, and we don't send your sister to prison or something like that. I was like, okay, where's that going? But
Yeah, that's definitely interesting.
this was definitely my favorite, and
I like
the
the
And then
sorry.
Superman Rebirth, I got the variant. I like that cover. That was really nice. Okay. Um, this to me was just very touching. In my opinion,
Everybody keeps saying that.
I thought it
Yeah,
was
it's
really
cause
touching.
it's Clark and Lana. Every time you see Clark and Lana, it's always kind of a heartwarming thing.
It was very touching for me personally because you see new pre 52 Superman just staying over New 52 Superman's grave, because it's almost like he's waiting for him to revive, and he realizes that there isn't no regenerative matrix that helped him come back to life when he died against Doomsday. And I want to show off. I believe that's Doug Mankey's artwork. That
Yep.
beautiful spread of him and Dark Doomsday fighting. Here it is, right here. It's right here. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah,
Where
that's awesome. I love when they remaster '90s art and it comes out better.
Yep, I thought that was really good. He's telling Lana about how he died against Doomsday, and when he was brought back, and they even showed him with the damn mullet. I was like, oh my god, they did that.
I want to see. I hope in the first issue of Action Comics, the first thing we see is Superman shaving the hobo beard,
Yeah.
because I want to know how he shaves. That's been a secret that nobody really.
Well, I'm pretty sure it'll be like Hancock. It'll be like Hancock, where he just does like
Yeah,
that.
they've mentioned it where like where I think he's talked about it before, where he aims the heat vision at the mirror in a focus beam.
Yeah.
But I want to see it done though, because I've never actually seen him shave. I want to
And
see it happen.
the last thing I'll say about this also, it was pretty dialogue heavy. That's pretty much no action. I did like what he had to say about New 52 Superman's Portrait of Solitude, where he basically saw that he just honors Jor-El and his biological parents, but pre-50 Superman actually has his biological parents and his adopted parents holding up the world, and he actually admired that. I was like, that's pretty cool. And
The other thing I liked was with the crystal, where New 52 Superman set it up for Kara. It's like, if you're seeing this, Kara, that means I'm dead, and you're going to have to take over for me. I thought that was
yeah,
cool.
I thought that was good, and I'm really interested in seeing more of Lana's new powers. I'm really interested in that. But other than that's pretty much everything DC I got. So
Yep. I
Oh,
recommend you check out Green Arrow though. Like you gotta read Green Arrow. Like I
oh,
wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't good, but I think you should.
all right. Well, yeah, like, I mean, to be honest, well, that's all I was actually able to pick up because, like, most of my books were actually sold out today, as far as Rebirth, the ones that I wanted anyway. Even that, man, I was gonna get that Batman though. I was gonna get the Batman, but just something told me to hold off, and I was right. So I'll most definitely pick it up eventually though. But I also finally got to pick up, unfortunately, but fortunately, because I got to pick it up. Sinestro 23. God dang it, man! Like, why you gotta end? Why
So
do
how
you
did it
have?
end? So
Um,
how does it end?
I'm actually not finished with it. Like, I'm not finished with it, but so far, like, I at least wanted, like, I know it's gonna be the ending, but like, I at least wanted to go to issue 24. Honestly, I really wanted to go to 26 because I know that's kind
I
of like
know,
the quota.
I know, but at least the Hal Jordan story is gonna have Sinestro heavily involved in it. So
Right, right.
picking
So
that
I
up
can't
will
wait.
probably continue that.
But yeah. Cheers to a really good almost 2 year run with Sinestro. Yeah, great art. Most definitely a great story. I really can't name one bad issue that I read out of this, which is very, very, very rare in the past 5 years, unfortunately. So yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Cheers. But
I like what they did. I also like what they did with Ceramic in that series. I thought it was pretty cool that she took over the core and actually made
right.
it better.
Right. And also, not only did they do that, they finally like catered to my wishes and brought in a new character next. I was just like, man, that's such a badass character, man. Just like I hope they
So
implement her.
do they have any Earth yellows yet?
Uh, not in. Well, okay. See, look, I can't comment on that yet because I didn't. Oh, you're talking about just in general.
Yeah, just in general. Do they have any Earth yellow lanterns yet?
No.
No? Man,
should
even the Reds have Rancor. Come on.
Yeah, they'll get to it. They'll get to it. They'll get to it. Don't worry. Jeff Johns he's back. He wants his baby. He got his baby back. Okay, he got his baby back.
I think he's going to his other baby and taking over the JSA.
Yeah.
That, that's what I'm hoping for. Also,
uh,
it would also be cool if he took over Legion of Superheroes because that's an underrated series that I've always
that would
liked.
be
That nobody
interesting.
else
Yeah,
seems
that
to
would
have
be
liked.
interesting. Most definitely, I would actually like to see that. Besides that, yeah, that's all I got for DC. So
All
far.
right,
So
so Kyle, are you there, Kyle? All I'm seeing is icon. Is Kyle there? Nope. Nope.
Kyle, whose last name should be Rayner, because Loki, he likes Green Lantern. Oh no, he phased out.
We'll wait. We'll wait for Kyle to come back because I know Kyle wanted to kick off Marvel, so we'll wait for Kyle to come back. It should only take a little bit. Let's see what we got in the comments, though.
All right.
Pulling up the comments. Already read. Mhm. Okay, PC Veteran says Batman's the only DC I read. You gotta expand your horizons, man. DC has a lot of great characters.
DC has a lot of great characters. Even surprisingly, like I dropped it, but I'm gonna get back into it just to complete it. That Batman Beyond, not the Rebirth Batman Beyond because they haven't started yet, but
Oh, the Tim Drake
yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah, like it actually impressed me because once again, new characters, a pretty decent story, and overall, like I got to see Android Superman get his ass whooped. So yeah, uh, not bad.
Okay. Cool.
And
Yeah,
it's
and Jacob says Superman was touching, and he says Green Lantern was good, very good. So
awesome.
yeah, we're getting a lot of love for Rebirth this week. So Kyle, floor's all yours, dude. We're kicking off Marvel.
Can you hear me? You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, you're good. You're
All
good.
right. Okay. Let me. Okay, so I guess I'll get the controversial book out of the way and just so we can move on. And of course, you guys can talk about it as well. Civil War II, #1, by Brian Michael Bendis with by David Marquez. Sean, zip it. Just zip it, man. Just like look
You
out the
make
window.
me sick.
Oh, please, come on. Oh, please.
You'll be all right, man. You'll be all right. It's gonna be okay. It's
You
gonna
better
be
not read
okay.
Wolverine. You better not read Wolverine. You better not read
Oh, trust me, I really
Oh my god.
but anyways, okay. So this book had a lot of hate on it, of course, from what happened at the end. But I'm gonna say this: I enjoyed this. I don't like that spoiler. We spoil books on this and we talk about them. And She-Hulk dies.
I don't think
I don't
she's
like.
dead.
Well,
She's temporarily flatlined. We're gonna put it like
She's
that
temporarily
because
flatlined. No way. The only
well, you
one
don't
that's
know.
dead is Rhodey.
Yeah, which worked as a good emotional thing for Tony. I thought that was really touching. But
and also Bendis already set up a legacy character for Rhodey, so I feel like it's okay. You know, the mantle's still gonna live on.
yeah, but I heard IGN say this wasn't as good as Mark Millar's first outing 10 years ago. I don't agree with that. I think people are reasonable here. I enjoyed the first part of this book a lot, actually. I like them all like stopping that that threat at the beginning. Yeah, that threat at the beginning of the issue, and you got like all of the magic-based characters standing together. And
That was the coolest shit ever. When you got Doctor Strange, Brother Voodoo, Wiccan, and his mom Scarlet Witch all in one
All
panel,
right.
just casting a spell, I was
yeah,
like,
All right.
yeah,
All right.
that's what I wanted
I'll
right
give you
there.
that.
but the book was very well told. The story, the argument that Tony and Carol had was very well done. No one was like, "You're garbage, Tony." Tony was like, "You're just a loser, Carol." No one like that. That was Mark Millar back in the day, and I love the line when they're having the party where you got, I think who was it? Oh God, I think it was Dazzler. Allison. She was like, "Come on, Wanda, say it. No more Hellstrom. Say it." Just, I was like, "Oh, that's great." That was
Because
really
Yeah.
good.
and that's funny because Dazzler and Damien had kind of a thing back in the day.
Yeah, and
So
And I like in the back the artwork when you see Carol and Tony Hannon together. You can see Jane Foster Thor and She-Hulk arm wrestling. It's really funny. You can like see some of the other heroes like bouncing up and down. Like,
Also, Black Bolt's club is pretty popping. Like I would go to Black Bolt's bar. I would totally go to
yeah.
Black Bolt's bar.
But I enjoyed this. I didn't hate this. I thought this was if She-Hulk is dead, it technically is dead. We'll say that at the moment. I don't like that, but she'll be back in like 5-10 years. That's comics. Trust me. We all got Captain America, Spider-Man, Superman. She'll come back in like 10 years.
Yeah,
But
and at the same
I'll miss her
time,
if she's dead. I'll miss her if she's dead. So, but,
yeah. Also,
yeah.
David Marquez just needs to draw just a straight up Jean Grey book because man, his Jean Grey looks amazing.
That right there was a good part I liked. It was where she looked inside Ulysses' head and she was just like, man, it's completely black in here. Like I can't get through his head. It was like, wow, even Jean can't read him. I was like,
That's why something's up. Me and Kyle are theorizing that something's up with Ulysses. Like he's not all he seems to be.
Yeah, because he was a little bit like he was like when she was like, I'm gonna read your mind, nothing's gonna come out. He was like and like his phrasing, words. I'm like something's up here. He's hiding something. I'm like ooh, I'm like he's doing something. But I greatly enjoyed it. It was good. I'm not gonna say it was the best thing ever, but it was good. So you guys, Jeremy, Chris, if you guys want to say anything, go ahead.
I pretty much said all I wanted. In between. So, Chris, what did you think about it?
I said it on my review, which I still got to put up. I'll put it up when I finish this. Yeah, I thought it was good. Definitely, it got the emotion part down right that I was looking for. I wasn't, I was kind of trying to figure out where does the setup of the two coming to blows from. I was just like, okay, where does this lead to? And I love the argument that I was very happy how Bendis wrote Tony. How he's looking at it from a point of view of, are we abusing this kid's abilities? We don't really know anything about this kid. He sees visions. That's his inhuman ability. His eyes turn all black and red, where he looks a little bit like Gambit. But it was just like okay. But so he's basically saying, can we really trust what this guy said? And it's kind of from that point. And I like how the argument was going with Tony, you should talk. You're a futurist. And I was just like, okay, yeah, that's a good argument to go with there. And then he's like, yeah, of course I am, and I believe in it, but he still is to that point of view of truly, can we really trust what this kid could be wrong, and what happens with the Thanos, which we got in the free comic book day. That's where we don't get to see that there. It truly makes you like okay, and Tony losing, and then that I think probably the biggest blow for me in that book was hearing Tony say, "You killed my best friend." Yeah. You may not have done it, but I was just like, oh man, that's bad, because Marvel was really building this relationship between Carol and Rhodey. They were a legitimate couple, and I was really shocked, but I was just like, I could see that working. They're both military based, and kind of that kind of flies right. And I love how she said, you're not the only one that loved him, Tony. And I was just like, whoa, Carol just used the L word. We don't see Carol use that a lot, but she used it. It was just like, whoa.
And I love. Oh, sorry.
And but I thought it was a very good issue, because that was what I said about the first issue 0. I was like, Bendis, if you continue to write like this, okay, and pretty much it was a solid read for me. I don't believe. I think it's just for suspense that She-Hulk is dead, because I truly believe her cousin is coming to save her. Her cousin. Once they started saying we need a gamma specialist, where's Bruce Banner? I'm like, yeah, he's coming, because it was announced in Totally Awesome Hulk that he's gonna return there, and I'm like, okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
I thought it was great to see all the. I thought it was great seeing that big spread of all the heroes fighting the
yeah.
Celestial. I mean, even the X-Men were there, which I was like, yeah, look at that, they're all there, and and then when you seeing some of the magic-based heroes there, Doctor Strange, Wiccan, Magic, Scarlet Witch, Damian
Mm-hmm.
Hellstrom, Shaman. I was like, whoa, and then it's almost to the point I'm like, I actually said, damn it, Marvel, how come there's not a book just with a team full of magic-based heroes?
I would read the hell out of that,
I was
especially
like,
if both Wiccan and Wanda were on the team. I'd be like, yep,
I
okay.
was like,
Yep.
that
Yep.
was probably what Alana said that she said that made her pants wet, and I'm just like, I can kind of agree with her on that because that was a joyous moment seeing all of them together, and they're all tired after they did it.
Yeah,
I love Damien's
yeah.
I love Damien
I'm
Nelson because he's just
surprised. I'm
he's
surprised they didn't pull. I'm surprised they didn't pull what they did in Jason Aaron's Doctor Strange. You know, Doctor Strange is sitting there puking.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was funny because they're all just beat, and Damien just looked the worst because he's just like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But it
It was
was
a
good.
great, like,
I thought it was a good, and I loved Marquez's artwork was just really beautiful. It really
yeah.
was. So
And
yeah, it was a good start. A good. I mean, other than that, was it worth the $5.99 price tag? Okay, that's something me and Gabi do a lot. Was it worth it? I won't say. I gotta say no. It wasn't worth. I mean, this could have been a little cheaper, but it was good for what it was actually.
yeah, and I like what you said about even the X-Men there, especially since Marvel has been super pushing out the X-Men and putting the Inhumans in the spotlight. Maybe this is them kind of easing up on that and kind of putting the X-Men back in the forefront a little bit, which I hope.
Hmm.
Because you can notice that Bendis does love the mutants. He's written the X-Men and he's done a lot with the X-Men throughout the years. So I hope that's what this is
He
doing.
did a really good, and he did a really good job on the X-Men. So I feel like he will give them a decent service in this series.
I also did anyone. I got really before we move on. Did anyone else get really emotional seeing Tony react to
You know,
Rhodey's death?
the part where I got emotional was when Carol was crying over Jen's body. I was like, oh man.
I,
Yeah,
I I I got emotional on a lot of scenes, especially with that one. Like Tony seeing the body of Rhodey. You don't see his body. You just see the cover over, and you just see him holding his helmet, and I'm just like, man, like, and then seeing Jen the way I've never seen Jen that beat up, I was just like, oh my god, Jen.
hmm
I mean, she had a black eye, she was bruised. I was like, and then worse was Carol. I mean, Carol can take a licking, but I've never seen her that she looked like she lost one of her eyes. I was just like,
yeah.
I was so sad to watch. I mean, and just from that manner of just the way Marquez drew it made
hmm
it even more just, man, he's drawing it too much. He wanted you to feel for these characters. That's kind of how I looked at the way his artwork came out. He wanted you to feel for the characters. That's basically it.
The writing complemented the artwork, and the art complemented the writing. They both did a good job.
Yep.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. So well, we'll see moving forward. We could turn really quick. We'll see. As long as this kind of at times can jump the gun and do bad stuff. So, but
I
yeah.
mean, but before we move on, I want to mention, like, was
Mhm.
it legitimate of Rhodey dying? I mean, did you see what Thanos did to him? I'm like, he
Uh,
literally almost did a Rasengan in his chest. I was like, yeah, he's dead.
yeah, and like and when you see Tony standing over his dead body, his War Machine armor is just in pieces.
Yeah,
It's
and it's
oh
kind
my
of
God.
it's kind of funny because even before during the party, even Rhodey even brings it up. He even said, like, well, I would hope my best friend would maybe upgrade my armor a little bit, like, and you know, I thought that was. I've always wondered about that. How come Rhodey's armor never was upgraded? How come Tony never said, hey, Rhodey, I'm gonna upgrade yours just like I upgrade mine? Yeah, he pulled. Yeah, thank you, Malcolm. He kind of pulled off a blank man. It was like, yeah, how come? You know, it's like if you remember the movie Blank Man, where his suit
Yeah,
was bulletproof and his
yeah.
brother's suit wasn't. It was like, yeah, I always wonder about that. Like, how come Tony never, like, when he was upgrading his armors, how come he wasn't like, okay, I'm upgrading
Are you talking
Rhodey.
about you're talking about that line where he said you're basically giving me armor from the 80s?
Yeah, like stuff like that. I was just like, I kind of agree with Rhodey on that. I'm like, Tony should have been upgrading Rhodey's armor just as much as he does his own.
I can kind of give Tony a pass right now because he's damn near almost broke. But
Yeah,
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 but,
I get it.
but I can,
David,
yeah, I totally, I understand that, and I like when he was like, "You can always put another machine gun on turret on it. That won't look desperate."
Yeah,
um,
David Wayans, we love you, okay?
damn right.
Um, nah,
Oh man.
like I would see. I don't hate the concept of Civil War, but like even with the first Civil War, it just didn't move me too much. But I did indulge in it. Um, but I'm not gonna compare it. I know it's a new thing. I know it's a new thing. I know it's a new concept. And just overall, so I'm just gonna be hush hush about it. Like I'm not gonna bash it. I'm
I'm only
just
gonna pick up the tie-ins to the stuff I'm already reading. Like Gods of War, I'm really excited for because they need to fix Herc. Herc cannot just end with him going back to alcohol. Nope.
Yeah,
God,
I
yeah,
mean
that's so sad.
that's kind of people ask me that all the time. It's like, so Chris, are you gonna do like you did with the first Civil War, where you were picking up everything Civil War? I was like, hell no, I'm not doing that again. And I'm like, no way. I was like, I'm gonna read the main story and two mini, side stories. I'll read the Spider-Man, which is gonna be written by
Christoph
Christopher
Gage.
Gage is writing that,
Oh,
and
Gage is right now. It's not gonna be Slot. Holy shit. Yeah.
and it's not, and I'm not, and I'm gonna read God of War. I'm not gonna read. If somebody wants to give me the codes for the X-Men one, okay, but other than that, no, those are the only two I'm reading.
Yeah, and what I like so far, I think I told Jeremy this so far with the solo titles we have right now, because they all have the banner, just Civil War. I like that nothing is being forced to tie in at the moment. We'll see moving forward, but I think maybe Invincible Iron Man and Captain Marvel might be the only things. But I appreciate that. You don't want to handcuff a writer.
Yep.
We'll see moving forward if they have to all tie in. But so far, everything's been pretty standalone. You don't have to be Civil War 2. Even if you don't like that concept or just don't like it, So, I appreciate that at least. So for some,
all right,
Yeah.
all right.
So what do we got next, Kyle?
I guess we'll stick with Bendis just so we can get an Iron Man. Invincible Iron Man number 10. Miss Jane on that cover. That is an awesome
I
cover.
got the
That's
Barry.
that's another that's another that's this is another cover bait because I'm telling you, man, that they keep putting MJ on these covers, and I'm like, I know she love MJ, and I want this cup. I want this cup. I want the mug.
Yeah.
The mug. They need to sell this mug.
Yeah, I got the variant cover. I thought it was
Oh, that's awesome.
That reminds me of Tron.
the only thing is I don't like who's underneath him.
Wait,
If you can see, is Daredevil and Herc.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cold.
that's not right. That's not
Leave
right.
Daredevil alone.
Leave Herc alone, man. That dude's been through enough lately.
But he already took his sight, though, man. Come on, let that man live. All right.
I thought this. First of all, I tweeted Mike Diodato because he knows I'm one of his biggest fans, and I told him, I said Diodato, once again, I love your artwork, and you're one of my favorites. But Tony's costume is his disguise in this. He looks like Luke Perry, and he laughed about it. He's like, and he favorited my tweet. I mean, I heard people say David Franco, but I mean,
I think he looks like James Franco. He looks like James Franco.
yeah, James. I heard some people say James Franco, but when you look at this right here, right there, that
He looks like Luke Perry. It looks like Perry.
Luke
Yeah.
Perry.
I don't know. That seems more Franco to me, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta say Perry. Yeah.
But the new Inhuman, that woman, the the
Tomo? I think his
The
name's Tomo.
golem, the
the
techno golem,
techno
Tome.
golem
Oh,
who's
yeah.
able to control like machinery and stuff like technology. I'm like, okay, this could be. I hope she stays around. I'm
Mhm.
kind of liking this character. She's new. She's a new villain, and I'm all for female villains. And sometimes it's the female villains you got to watch out for. You know, they're the ones that are more dangerous than even the men.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, okay, but um, not okay,
I,
not for Spider-Man, yeah, but for most of the other heroes, yeah, the female villains, I are very much
yeah.
there.
And Iron Man needs new villains. He doesn't. Needs to give him better
That's
rogues
that,
gallery.
that, that's because most of Iron Man villains, no offense to Iron Man fans, are lame. Like a lot of them are lame.
Crimson
Or,
Dynamo's
or
best.
if they're not lame, they're just carbon copies of himself. You know,
Yeah.
go down the
Yeah,
list.
the only Iron Man villain I really like is Madame Mask, and that's because Madame Mask is just really cool.
You don't
I
like the
think Crimson
Mandarin?
Dynamo.
I love the Mandarin.
The Mandarin's cool, but I feel like he's kind of just like OP Green Lantern. Like, you know, if basically imagine what Kyle Rayner did in that issue of New Guardians, where he put all 10 rings on like both hands. That's essentially what the Mandarin is.
Mm.
I can agree to a certain extent.
Uh,
But no.
I liked when the 10 rings was embedded in his spine, where that was different. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
That was kind
and
of cold. Yeah.
I also I like the ghost. The ghost is cool. The
Yeah, the
ghost
Ghost
is
is cool.
cool.
He's
good,
interesting. He's
but
interesting.
everybody else,
I like the Ghostbuster puns that come with whenever he shows up.
I
I don't know.
There's a joke in this book. I really like when Tony has that Spider-Man mask over his head and he's tied up and he's like, "Are we gonna do some weird Japanese thing where you shave my balls?"
yeah.
He was like, if this is one of those weird Japanese game shows where you shave my sack, I swear to God.
I was just like, oh my god. Also, anyone that says Tony can't fight, this issue clearly shows he can kick some ass. I love when seeing him fight.
Yeah, he was good with
I
that,
mean,
that sword.
Steve trained him though, so I feel like people forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love seeing the ending with the all new Avengers, and I'm hearing someone say with Miles, like Miles has web shooters, and I'm like, you realize he has other things than web shooters, right? You can just take them off, and like because they're trying to get like a whole bunch of no technology. They don't want to have any of that around.
I freaking love Sam. Sam is like, sweet. I've never been to Japan.
And the thing about that, Yadada drew Sam looking a lot older than he is. I was just like, wow, he looks like a.
Kamala looked a lot older too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like that too. And speaking about the what's her name, Riri or Riri?
Yeah.
Riri, I think her name.
Riri Williams is her name.
Yeah. She was interesting too because I like how she was. She was like, I'm not a. She's like.
I still think Iron Maiden would have been the best name she would have went with. If she had went by Iron Maiden, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, she basically talked about how, I'm not an Avenger. She's like, screw the Avengers. I'm a Defenders fan. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, that was pretty funny.
She was like, the Defenders blow the Avengers out of the water. What are you talking?
Yeah.
And when you think about it, if you're talking about the OG lineup with like Namor, Silver Surfer, the Hulk, and Doctor Strange, then yeah, like those guys, man.
Will that ever come back? I'm curious.
The Defender?
Yeah, well, I know the Defenders will eventually come back, especially since the show's like they're building up for it.
They're probably gonna make the Defenders just the street level version that we see on the show, because they did that with the $10 Deadpool issue, which is basically an entire miniseries for $10, and it's basically Deadpool roaming around New York trying to help this kid, and he runs into Daredevil, then runs into Luke and Danny, and then bumps into Jessica, and then they all come together to help Deadpool out. It's pretty cool. Like I didn't buy it. I just put it in my box, but I flipped through it. It was pretty hysterical. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing pretty hard. a lot of this. And I don't read that much Deadpool because I can only take it in small doses. But I like that.
Yeah, and
Oh,
also,
go ahead,
oh,
go ahead, go ahead. No, go
I'll
ahead.
just talk about the issue a little bit more. I like how someone's trying to take over the company, Stark Industries, because he's not there. Tony's been missing for 3 weeks. People think he's dead, and Friday's like, Mary Jane, we need you to get this in control because they're going to take over and they're going to shut me down. Because Friday, for all those that aren't reading, is an AI. And then like, oh man, like if Tony doesn't get back in time, there's going to be some problems with this company. And
How do you guys imagine Friday talking? I always imagined her with an Irish accent.
Irish accent.
How she was in the movie. She was in the movie.
I mean, she was first introduced in the comics first. So
yeah.
So when they gave her a voice in the movie, I instantly now just picture her with an Irish accent. So
a little bit more sass to it, though.
Yeah.
A little bit more. But yeah. Invincible Iron Man #10, Bendis, Deodato, good stuff. Does anyone else? You guys want to go to something else?
I can go.
All right.
Because I kind of want to get it out of the way real quick.
Are you talking about Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man?
Damn right. I'm gonna get this.
All
right. I gotta go mute. I gotta go mute because I ain't ready yet. So yeah.
Okay, I gotta.
I have rant on Chris's fucking post.
Here we go.
There we go. Yeah, this. Here we go. First of all,
My dick's bigger than your dick.
First of all, Mr. Alex Ross, you still continue to shine with the covers. We will not discredit that.
I respect you.
But what?
Okay.
Sir, you are really pushing my patience very much with this book. And it's getting to the point where I read this. I read this when I was doing my laundry. Actually, I was sitting in the laundromat and I was reading this, waiting for my clothes to dry. And I'm reading this, and then everything goes sour real quick when Tony and Peter interact. And it's kind of what my bro Blue Goblin's been saying. Every time these two get together now in Slot's books, it's almost like whose dick is bigger. It's almost like
my dick
is bigger than yours, and it's almost like you're completely misreading and miswriting these characters. The way Tony went to Peter, because let's make it, he doesn't remember that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Okay, remember that. And so he's like, when your boss goes out of business, because Parker, he doesn't know how to run a business, and he's gonna fail. You come work for me, and I'm just like, what the? I'm like, okay, Tony would never say some shit like that. I'm just like, and Peter throws the first punch, and I'm like, yeah, Peter would never throw the first punch, and it's just like, and at first I'm like, Tony, you kind of deserve that, but then I'm just like, you're completely miswriting these characters. I felt bad for Miles because he's watching his mentor, who is Spider-Man, and one of his partners is one of his fellow Avengers, acting like two spoiled brats.
The way when I was talking to Kyle, like it's kind of like with Miles is watching his two parents fight each other, like when they're in the middle of getting a divorce. It's kind of like how that is.
And it just came off that way for me. I was just like, you're completely just. I don't know what Slott is trying to do. What is he trying to accomplish by staying on this book? Because you could clearly see his writing, his quality has gone completely down. And
the only thing I'm interested in is Regent, to be honest. Like that's the only thing I'm interested in.
Yeah, I'm getting, and like I said, it's kind of funny because I've always said, a lot of people always ask me, Chris, how do you stay on this book then? It's just, I don't know, is it loyalty? I mean, I have the damn thing tattooed on my arm, loyalty for a reason, but it probably is. And it's like 95% of it is loyalty, and then probably 5% of it is my other self saying, dude, you're blind loyalty. Get off the book. And
you know what?
Like, it's me. It's more like, look, I've never dropped this title, Amazing Spider-Man. Never.
Nope.
You know, I've never dropped it, but it's really pushing me to think about dropping it until this man gets off this book. You know, because it's really, like I said, is it loyalty or is it just blind loyalty? You know, and or is it just me being a collector that I am?
I'll be honest. For me, it's me being a collector because like I skimmed through it and just put it in my long box. Like,
You know, it just, I mean, the only thing I would say that really kind of interests me to some degree is this whole thing with Regents. Um, I mean, it was really, I thought it was funny that basically Harry, Betty, and Mary Jane realized who Regents is. I was like, I was like, okay, yeah, that's, but other than that, I just felt more for Miles, and even that he got captured by Regents. I'm like, yeah, and
I also laughed at the little thing where Pete was like, "Remember when you had a man crush on Flash Thompson?" I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
really, Henry? Really?"
okay, and then here's something else I wanted to bring up because it was something I called out in my review. In one part, we see people are like, whoa, why are they fighting each other? And the other guy says, it's superheroes. It's what superheroes do now. I'm like, okay, yeah, that right there just.
Yeah, and can I ask a question? Did anyone feel like Tony felt like Namor a little bit, like how he was talking?
He definitely had that superiority
Yep,
complex. He
yeah,
felt
that
like a dick.
superiority complex that was just really, and I'm just like, why are you writing him like this, Slot? It's
Yeah,
like,
can we? Oh, sorry.
so go ahead, Kyle.
I was about to say, can we just make a petition that Slot never writes any other superhero in these comics ever again? Because he did this with a Human Torch, and he always makes Peter look like the good guy. And I love Peter Parker, I do, but you can't keep miswriting, not understanding these characters and writing them incorrect. This was what I would imagine Civil War II would have been, and it's not. And it's just like, and I even told Jeremy.
Oh, my bad, Kyle. But I was just gonna say really quick. The only hero I think Dan Slott understands writing wise, besides Peter Parker, is She-Hulk because he wrote a really good She-Hulk series. Probably one of my favorites, actually. Sensational She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, that was not bad. Yeah, I'll give that. And people say he writes Silver Surfer pretty well. And
Yes.
I like his Silver Surfer. It's because he's a huge Doctor Who fan, and it's pretty much Doctor Who with Silver Surfer.
Yes.
So I'm cool.
Yes. Yes. Can we talk about that next, please?
Did that come out this week? Or?
Anybody wants to talk about it? Go ahead.
I don't know if it came out this week, so but.
No. Okay, I got a question for the comments.
Sure.
As far as Spider-Man, what do you think Dan Slott caters towards? Like just in general, like for Spider-Man, what do you think he caters towards? Not
What do you mean? What do you mean by what?
what
What does he cater towards within the fan base? Like, that's
just
a hard
overall,
question.
just overall story, and just overall, just like trying to please the fans. Like as far as like where does he try to hit that pivotal point?
I don't know.
I don't know
He's not pleasing me in any aspect, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't even know what he's trying to please anymore as far as like Spider-Man.
And I think that's the whole reason we keep saying he needs to get off the damn book because he doesn't know what he wants to do anymore.
I mean, I want to say this. I want to specify this.
Personally, to me, probably his last best Spider-Man story that I really truly enjoyed was Spider Island. I actually enjoyed that.
Yep.
I want to say this because I know someone's going to misinterpret it or dance a lot. We're not saying you're not a Spider-Man fan, and we're not saying you should be fired. We just don't like you on the book. We think you're kind of running out of ideas, and you're just.
We just think your time has passed, man. Give it to Christos Gage. Give it to Yost. Like, give it to one of the people you work with all the time that you know will do your book justice. I know you care about this character a lot, and that's one of the reasons why you won't let it go. But come on, man.
Slot, I hate you.
Even Stan Lee Stan Lee let it go, so you
I,
have to.
like I said, I don't know what he's
I'm back
trying to
with you.
do. Like, he wants to be the longest running Spider-Man. Does he want that
It
title? I
it's
don't.
not gonna happen. Which honestly, like I
Bendis is
don't.
being no.
Yeah,
Bendis
he
has been Spider-Man for 10 years, almost 15 years, so it's not going to happen. So
right.
Yep.
Which yeah, Slot. You've made a pretty. Actually, shoot, you made a great amount of Spider-Man stories. So I'm just like, yeah, just let it go, man. Like let it like Stevie Wonder's hair. Let it go.
and
Let
I,
it go.
and I,
Like,
and I thought he was supposed to end it at Spider-Verse, and I thought Spider-Verse would have been a good outing. I enjoyed Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I thought Spider-Verse was pretty.
Spider Verse was just decent to me. Like it was good, but I think it was just overstuffed. I think.
But I thought that was going to be his last run, and then when they started back up, and he was still. I'm like, oh, he's still on it. The only thing I will say is I've always enjoyed Peter evolving in terms of his career wise. I mean, we've seen this kid go from being a freelance photographer to a teacher to being in a research laboratory making different things, and now he's running his own business. I'm fine with that aspect, but it's just that with Slot, you said it best. I don't think he knows the direction he wants to go with Peter. I mean, in general with the character, it's just like
What they call riding by the seat of your pants.
there you go, riding by the seat of your pants. That's a good
He's not like
it's
Peter
just
David, like plans ahead. He's just kind of going issue to issue. Like, he's. It's kind of like when you say with movies or even TV shows, they're just kind of going scene to scene. They're not thinking anything out for the long term.
Yeah,
you
they're
know what?
just. I mean, yeah, it just feels like he's making it up as he goes. Like you could really tell that with the Mr. Negative shit that he was doing.
Oh
Dude,
God, yeah.
if he would have started it like how he started it with issue 10 or issue 11, then. Oh, no, forget that. Issue 11. So if he would have started it just like that, then it would have been alright. Like, it would have been perfectly alright. Because it would have easily been like, oh, hey, okay, so Peter's got a empire that's eventually going to fall. And he's eventually just going to meet his tragedy. And then we're just going to get the classic Peter Parker back. Like, I really want that. When he is on his struggle, then that is the best. I know it sucks, but like overall,
I
like
mean, that is the truth. When Peter is at his lowest and he like has to struggle and has to balance that, that's when he's the most relatable, and he needs some kind of relationship. I don't care if it's MJ. As much as I love MJ, it doesn't have to be MJ. Just give him somebody that he can like attach to and bounce off of. He can't just be alone all the time.
that's the problem. I think that's just the mentality of the comic industry in general. Like, some of these people just feel like they're heroes. They can't have love relationships. That's why I'm so happy that they didn't break up Arthur and Mira. I'm like,
That's why Green Arrow made me so happy this week. Was I was like, this is what I wanted. This is what I needed. Why didn't you do
okay,
this before?
yeah, all right. I may have to, because I'm scared for Percy. That's why, because I'm.
Dude, no, that's what I was saying. I was you should have heard me when I was talking about it earlier with Kyle and Sean. I was like, man, this is the dude who gave Oliver werewolf AIDS, now, but yet now he's like bringing Dinah and Ollie back together. They're feeling like they normally do,
I,
and
I, I may have to
it's
pick
just
it up. I might have to pick it up because
I'm
I said I'll read one of two of his books, and I'm gonna give it to the Titans. I was like, I'll read Teen Titans, but I'm not sure about Green Arrow. But everybody keeps saying,
yeah.
you're not the only one
hey,
that said, you
yeah.
gotta read it, Chris. That Dinah and Ollie are back. You'll like it, and I'm just like,
Look,
really?
I was really hesitant about this, like so much to the point where I actually took it off the shelf, sat down in the shop, and read it. Because I was like, I'm like, I'll buy this if I like it, but if I don't, I'm gonna put it right back, and I might throw it in the trash.
But I do agree with another thing is like, yeah, Peter Parker is or Spider-Man in general. What makes him so popular has always been he's the everyday hero. He's that guy that we can relate to,
Right.
And I'm not saying I can't relate to him in terms of what he's doing now, because he's still kind of struggling. He's still trying to balance being Spider-Man, trying to run a company, and he kind of brings it up. That was one thing I did like, is how he brought up, like, how does Tony Stark do this? He's like, how does Tony do this? I'm having trouble
And
with it.
I think that's the whole reason Miles has gotten a lot more popular nowadays, is because they're giving what they gave to Peter before to Miles, and that's why people are more gravitating towards Miles.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, I said my piece on Amazing Spider-Man 730. I'm always trying to keep the original numbering. I can't remember it now, but yeah.
All right, so we can.
Can
All
we
right, so
do-
I can.
Go ahead,
Can
Joe.
we jump to a book that I read? I know Kyle. I don't think you did, but I know Chris probably did.
What's that?
So you mind if I take this one?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, yeah.
Punisher issue number 2. Did you
See,
grab
I
this one?
got that right here. I actually have that right here in my hand. And I actually did want to bring that up. But go ahead.
So this book was good. It's a continuation of the Face story, and basically you got these guys are trafficking an illegal drug that it's kind of like the drug from the first episode of Cowboy Bebop. Like
Oh,
it
the
gives you
bloody eye?
The bloody eye.
because like when his Face, the drug dealer, he actually gets high on his own supply, and I gotta find the page now, because like he snorts it, and then he gets all red-eyed, and there we go. Oh, right there. Like, if you can see that, like in the panel there, you see he's all red-eyed, and so he's like taking it to Frank, but Frank is just blowing people away, and he's like wrecking shit. And I know you're not the biggest fan of Dylan's art, Chris, but I think Dylan works for Punisher because he just makes everything look so ugly and it's just
Grimy. It gets to the nitty gritty section, which I really like as well.
it just works for a Punisher book. It wouldn't work for anybody else, but it works for a Punisher book. And then towards the end of the book, like the last page, they did the most fucked up thing I could ever. Like, I didn't think. I mean, man, Miss freaking I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's Clunan, Miss Clunan. What the fuck, man? Or lady? Like, Jesus. Like, there's. I mean, no, because okay, this is what happens, right? So after they find out that the drug dealers, I'm gonna spoil this because I just have to get this off my chest. The drug dealers see that Frank is coming for them, and so the main guy who's making the drug, it's this trailer trash hick, and he takes his daughter. And he attaches a fucking bomb vest on his little daughter.
What?
As an insurance policy. Like,
Max.
what the fuck?
Max.
What the fuck? You're gonna blow up a little girl? Oh my god. That's when I was like, oh jeez. This is getting real.
She took a play. Becky Cloonan took a play from Punisher Max. Volume 6, literally, like, if you, oh my god, the slaving, I'm telling you, it literally takes a cue from that. I mess with you. Becky Cloonan, if you're listening, I mess with you.
This was just a really surprising, action-packed book. This is what I was looking for Punisher, and I didn't know Cloonan could go that far, but she went that far. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm glad
man.
she took the aspect of Max. You don't know how badly I want Punisher. Like, Punisher Max was like literally. It's probably honestly like I love Warzone, and I love Journal and all, but like that Max for me at least, like up until like the ending, that was probably the epitome for me. Like it was just great, like overall. So like it felt good to actually see that.
I've always been a huge fan of Ennis in the first place. So the fact that I got a lot of the Ennis vibe from this really kind of was I was feeling it. Like, but I mean, I liked Edmonton's run a lot, but man, this feels like classic, just grim and grimy Frank.
Right.
Yeah. Who said Edmondson?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's starting to become one of my favorite writers. The one thing I love is that I'm able to I talk to him a lot, and he actually talks back to me. So I'm like, yeah, you're starting to become one of my favorites, dude.
Yeah,
Really,
man. Like I wish his Deathlok book wasn't canceled.
oh,
That was a really good one.
love that. Uh,
How
But
many issues did
but
it
yeah,
go on for?
I think was it like 8, 9, something like that.
What?
Deathlock. How
Deathlock.
long did Deathlock
eight,
go
it
for?
was 8 issues.
It was 8. That's what I thought. I thought it was 8 or 9.
It looked interesting.
It was
Uh,
good. The art was really nice too. Also,
Jacob.
really quick.
Oh,
Oh, my bad. Really quick before we move on, I just want to go on another little tangent. Why does everything Mike Del Mundo is on get canceled?
Dude, stop! It's the curse. He has a curse over his
Because
head. I'm
because
telling you, after
Vision
Elektra, it was solidified.
Because Vision, I mean, it's not his fault. Vision is ending at issue 12 because Tom King has an exclusive contract with DC. I get that. But now Weird World, which I was finally gonna pick up because Kat was telling me, Jay, it's really good. You need to read it. And I actually was like, all right, I'm gonna check it out. And then I find out it got canceled. I'm like, oh, never mind.
even
But it's Mike
even
Del Mundo, and Mike Del Mundo had great artwork.
even Dan Abnett is signed to the exclusive with DC now. So
yeah.
I think
Well,
his last works is gonna be with Civil War. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No, no, no.
and that means for sure no Hercules. Oh, damn it. Oh,
Actually,
well.
you know what? You want to know why Weird World's getting canceled though? One, like honestly, I skimmed through the. Well, I know actually, I take that back. I read the first 2 issues. Um, it literally makes you question why like they didn't do what they did in Secret Wars. And unfortunately, like like because I don't know about you guys, but like I just wasn't feeling that much at all in Secret Wars, and Weird
No,
World was probably one of the very few
no.
things.
I
And
enjoyed it.
I was like, literally, they brought back Crystar, okay? Like what? So I'm just like, look, if they would have actually kept just like that story going, if not just like kind of started over, I would have been cool with it. But like they completely changed it up, so I just couldn't get with it. I couldn't get with it. But overall, like Mike Del Mundo is easily one of my favorite artists. Actually, no, I take it back. He's my favorite artist on Marvel. So yeah, that's I've said my
I'm
piece on that.
I'm just mad everything he does that looks so great gets just canceled.
I
I
don't
want
think.
Well,
Were you talk? I don't understand. Like you said, did you say he was doing Vision? I thought Waltz was doing that.
no, Mike Del Mundo did
Mike Del
no,
Mundo.
Mike Del Mundo did the first 5 issues of Vision, and he did the covers. I know for sure he did the covers.
Hmm.
Well,
I
he
don't
still
know
got
if he did
Carnage.
the interiors. Oh yeah, Del Mundo does do Carnage. I might have to pick that up just so that I can just because of Mike Del Mundo, and I like Jerry Conway. But yeah, that was good. So go ahead, Kyle. You can go back to reading comments. I just wanted to go on that little tangent because I feel so bad for Mike Del Mundo because he was.
Actually, now that I say that, I think that's hanging from a string too.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
like
Oh well.
yeah.
Yeah. So Del Mundo is cursed. Okay, it's all right.
Oh man, that sucks.
Jacob Harper said he actually read Punisher. He's actually he says he reads Punisher as well. So
Oh yeah,
Oh
he,
cool. So
I read.
what did you think of it? What did you think of it, Jacob? Let us know what you thought of this issue of Punisher. Because
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I like that whole bebop vibe that it gave with the drug.
Mm-hmm. And
Because that first episode is always one of my favorites.
can I review the book that you this week that you guys none of you read, so that way I can get it
Yeah,
out of the way.
yeah,
If
go
that's
ahead.
okay.
Yeah,
Unless
we
Chris
all
has
went around
something.
and did ours. So.
Unless Chris has something he wants to cover. Because I know Chris is the guy that talked a lot.
Are you gonna talk about Spider Woman? Because I won't talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk
I
about
wanna-
that one. The three of us read, so we'll save that one for later.
Yeah, we
Uh,
can
one?
cover
Which
it
one?
along with
Which
Spider
one?
Woman as well. So
okay, I'll talk about.
did A Force come out this week, right?
A
Huh?
Force is still going?
Yeah, A
Yeah.
Force. I saw. Okay, I'll talk about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. That's
Okay,
all
A
you.
Force number 6. Uh, First of all, Dazzler with Mjolnir. She's an alternate Dazzler. She called Thor Dazzler. I thought that's pretty
That's
cool.
badass.
So she has her mutant powers, and she has the power of Mjolnir. What I didn't like about this issue was fun, because her villain from her world is called the Empress, and I guess you could say she's kind of like a mixture of Enchantress and other people, and she has Nico controlled, so she under her power. What I didn't
Oh
like
man,
about this is the artwork, and I'm gonna show you right now because it's just
it's
oh.
that cartoony artwork that they put for all the female books, isn't
Okay,
it?
look at
Most of them.
look at Carol right there. Doesn't she look like powdered toast, man? Look at
What's with
that.
hold on,
Yeah.
what's with Jen's face? Why is her mouth open like that? Like,
Powdered toast.
And then there's a part where she actually takes control of Jen and makes Jen all big and bulky looking right there. Look at her, she's all bulked up.
It looks like a dirty frog.
hmm Uh,
I was gonna say she looks like a battle toad. I was gonna say
yeah, I
she
was
looked like
about
a
to
battle
say
toad.
That
that, but
too.
yeah,
That
I mean,
too.
I don't, well, I don't.
No, Chris, you should remember this because you're a TMNT fan. What was the Battletoad look-alike in TMNT in the 80s?
You mean the Toads, Rasputin, Attila, and all of them?
The freaking
Yeah.
red one.
That was Attila.
Yeah, okay, that's what I see. So
Mm, Yeah, I didn't like this artwork. But it ends on a cliffhanger. I really wish the original artist that was with them comes back. I mean, no
Jorge
offense to
Molina?
no offense to Mr. Calwell, but I really want the original artist back. But this was fun nonetheless. I dig Thor Dazzler. She's really cool.
That's just a dope concept. I've always
But
liked
yeah,
Dazzler,
okay, Kyle,
so
you can go.
making a Dazzler Thor is pretty awesome.
Okay. I know none of you guys read this. Shame on you, but I'm just kidding. Old Man Logan, #7 by Jeff Lemire and Andre Sorrentino. This is the final. This is the last part to I think the story arc is called Border Town. This is just a fight between Lady Deathstrike and Old Man Logan.
nice.
And man, it is a bloody fight to the end. He cuts her in half. I think I haven't read the issue since Wednesday, but he cuts her in half, and when he's like, because he goes into berserker rage, and like half his face is gone, you can just see his skull, because the rest of the Reavers have just been fucked him up throughout just getting Lady Deathstrike, and he just like passed out. You see Lady Deathstrike crawling away, and like he fucked her up that bad. But this was really sad. I felt really bad for Old Man Logan here. The book opens with like a really great artwork.
Does his child wife die?
No, she's still alive.
Okay.
And he talks about chaos and how Wolverine, something always bad happens with him whenever he's around, and his whole point of being there. And I've covered it twice on I think episode 3 and 4. He just went there to make sure his wife, his future wife, that was a kid that he could tell had a bad childhood, just wanted to make sure nothing bad happened to her. And she experienced death because of him, and he didn't like that, and he's like, tell her I said goodbye. And he also says, I'm sorry, and then he just leaves, and I felt really bad. And then he also says, he's like, I'm coming for them now. He's like, I'm gonna hunt these people down that want to find me. He's like, I'm tired of people coming after me. I'm gonna be chaos. And like he pulls his claws out of a campfire, and they're like ready to go. And I'm like, man, that's good. This is just a great book. I like Logan, but this is just super interesting. I'm really enjoying the hell out of this. Lemire.
That's because
Lemire's
it's
becoming.
Lemire. That's because it's Lemire.
Yeah. Yeah, Lemire is just amazing. He's becoming one of my favorite writers at Marvel. And Sorrentino's artwork is just, it's blood. It works. This is not for children, though. Don't let your kids read this. This is not for the faint of heart.
No,
but yeah.
no, let your kids read this. Let them read this. It's okay. I'm just
No, he's like cutting off heads and everything. And
I grew up reading that type of Wolverine, Kyle. I turned out okay. I turned
I
out
mean,
okay.
you know how parents are. They'll complain about it. I don't. I'm just saying. I'm just trying
Okay,
to.
I'll tell you a book right now that don't let your kids read is a book called The Lookers. It came out this week.
Ooh,
You do
ooh,
not let
good,
your kids read that because
good.
No, no. I remember last episode. We're not gonna let kids read the book about the rape machine
oh
either.
God.
Because
Oh man, I could not believe that.
Oh,
Yeah, that's I gotta say about Old Man Logan. Number
uh,
7.
all right, cool.
well, hold on. To touch more on Old Man Logan,
Yeah.
I actually do want to get into that because before I wasn't necessarily bashing it, but I was just like, nah, because like I already went through the first run of Old Man Logan of way back when, and I love that enough to say like, hey, like we don't need another one. But after seeing issue 5, like kind of skimming through it, especially like just that front cover alone of issue 5, where he's just on the tree, just looking badass
hmm
as hell. Um, I'm willing to give it a try.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It spawns out of the Secret Wars thing Bendis did. So maybe you might want to read that, but because that's where his family I think comes from, and that how he got to the 616 universe. But you can read it without it, but it's a nice companion piece to it as
Well, I
well.
mean,
But
you know about his family from the original series.
oh,
I feel like the Secret Wars one kind of just expands on what happens afterwards,
gotcha.
like him raising baby Hulk, and leaving baby Hulk with Danielle, and that was cool. I like that Bendis always, whenever he gets a chance to write a story set in the future, he always incorporates Danielle Cage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
Um.
So
Oh,
or
that's like. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I say, or you see other versions of her. Like mostly every time you see Danielle Cage now, she's Captain America. You get to see that she's gonna be Cap sometime in the future. Like because it
I
was
like I like that too, because there was that cool moment where they took the shield away and they were like, "What are you gonna do now?" It's like, "My father is Luke Cage and my mother is Jessica Jones. I am the shield." And I was like,
in the Shield.
"Yo,
Yep, they always do that. Like we've seen that in even in New Avengers, we saw her with leading that some team of Avengers. Her and Atlantean who had uh,
Iron Man.
Iron Man's armor. I was like, that's funny. I was like, that's weird, but it's funny.
Looks like a
A mini
merman.
Ant-Man sized Nova member. I was like, that's interesting. Yeah. I
Oh,
was like,
one
okay.
one last thing on that Old Man Logan though. Does it
Yeah.
have anything to do with like, and I mean like completely anything to do with the Hewlett family?
The what?
Uh,
oh, the
the
Howlett
Hewlett
family,
or Howlett,
like
Howlett, my bad, Howlett,
like his
Howlett. I said Hewlett.
actual family."
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's
Okay.
nothing of like just emotionally, I guess, just like talking about them, but nothing. No, yeah, so it's nothing much. Like they have scenes with him and his boy, like back in the Old Man Logan world, but nothing past like the first 3 or 4 issues.
All
So
right.
yeah,
I'm down.
but
I'm down. I'll give it a try.
yeah, I'm glad
Cool. So are we gonna go to Avengers, Wolverine, or Spider Woman?
Uh,
we can do this. We can cover the Spider Women and Woman together. All 3 of us if we want. They work
uh,
pretty
Okay.
good.
I would love to save that because I actually enjoyed that.
Which one?
All right.
The Spider
So
Women and Spider
yeah.
Woman.
So we
Okay,
okay.
yeah,
So
we can
we
say
can
those.
save that for last then.
Yeah.
So
How about we go to
Avengers or
Avengers?
Wolverine? All right.
Oh,
Uh,
Avengers number
once again,
10.
beautiful cover by Alex Ross. Again,
Yeah. Really cool
Killing
cover.
it, man. Classic with those covers, man.
he,
oh wait, I put up the wrong book. I'm sorry.
uh, but this basically is the team out in space. Avengers go down to space to help.
With their ghetto ship.
Yeah,
That Thor
you got to
that
remember the
Thor
Avengers are
that
on a budget,
Thor is powering.
and
I love that
they're out
Thor.
there basically helping Sam find his father, pretty
Yeah.
much. But I did like the I love Janet and what is it, Nydia?
Nadia.
Naya's
Yeah.
interaction. That was pretty funny. I like that. Uh, That was pretty interesting. But
My favorite thing was when Kamala was getting sucked into that like wormhole, and then Thor was like, Jane was like, "Little one, catch!" She
yeah,
throws the
another
hammer,
one catch. But
and then
it's probably the big thing
cool.
right now for Wade for me is seeing who they're going to be facing at the end. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
I haven't seen this
I
guy in
haven't
a
seen
while.
this. I haven't seen this dude in a long time. And Sean, I know you're a cosmic guy, so maybe this will get you back into reading Avengers. Annihilus is back, dude.
All right, all right, all right, all
Ooh,
right.
okay, but it was pretty interesting. You know, a lot of people, you know, have been saying to me, they told me personally, is like, this is not his best quality. I expect more from Wade with this book, and I can understand some people's. You
That's
know,
actually
I do hold Wade at a high pedestal too myself.
I feel like he's being held back by editorial. I think
I'm
like they're
I'm I'm
not letting.
I'm telling you, I
a
feel that
lot.
I'm feeling that maybe his whoever Tom Burr, whatever his name is, all of them are telling like, Wade wants to do something, but he's being held back. Oh no, Wade, you can't make. You don't want your book looking too good over the others. I'm like, why not?
Well, then
Why
why would he
not?
write it? Then why would he write it if he has that? That seems completely counterintuitive. He would just leave. Like, wasn't that what his big thing with DC was? Like, you're not letting me do what I
Yep.
want. I don't think that might be true. I think it could be, but I don't know. I think Wade would be like, you know what? Then I'm not going to write it. I don't know if
I don't
Wade
know because
would.
it seems because the way I see it though, the reason I say that is because he has all these good ideas, but like it seems like it's being forced into such a slow pace that nobody's really caring about this book
I think he just
as
needs
much
a
as they
Snickers.
should.
I think he just needs a Snickers, man.
I mean, his Black Widow isn't that great either at the moment. I'm not really.
Mark, it's just like Mark, you're not you need a Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry.
I
No,
miss him on
Um,
camera. I really miss him on camera.
by the way, if you ever meet that dude at a con, he looks like a freaking bear. He is huge.
Who? Who?
Mark
Wade.
Wade,
Oh, I have never
he
met.
is huge.
I've heard
All this time about hearing the name Mark Wade, I thought you almost looked like Nathan Drake.
I've heard they say that about Greg Capullo. He looks like a bodybuilder. I'm like,
Yeah, he's
Capullo,
pretty bulky.
Capullo is scary. Capullo is scary. He seems like the type that would be like a rough biker dude, but he's just really cool. He's
He's
really
got
cool.
roids in the system. I believe that. Yeah, I'm
Like
convinced that man needs bench press.
I feel like they modeled '90s Cable after Greg Capullo. Like
I'm convinced that that man punches freaking school buses like Sean Price. Like good lord. Just
anyway, moving on. Moving on.
let's go
So
to.
yeah,
How about we go to All New Wolverine?
all
Yeah,
right.
number
okay.
9.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Wolverine. I love this book, man. This book
Yeah,
is awesome. Gabby, I'm telling you, Gabby is what makes this book so great because I love Gabby making fun of Maria Hill. She's like when she's talking about it's a pheromone on the ship, and she whispers into the walkie-talkie, it's a Fing Fang pheromone. It's like this is what happens when a dragon and a helicarrier love each other very much.
Mm-hmm.
I love that stuff. I love that stuff. And then you
I
got
think
Iron Man showing up.
Iron Man and Carol showing up.
When no,
Stopping the
when Carol showed up and she showed Yuken's Fing Fang
And
Foom,
she
I was
does.
like,
She does. She goes, sure. Yeah, she does. Sure. And the fact is, they're telling her, don't kill him. Don't hurt the people inside. And you actually see that, Laura is inside, and just hearing that, what
me
the
and me
this.
and Kylo were joking about that because she goes hup hup hup
sounds like
like
Mario.
she's friggin' Mario.
Yeah. And the funniest thing is just hearing that Logan, the Fing Fang Foom's digestive acids have just ate away his legs. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
and
it
you
wasn't as
literally
funny
see
as I
his
was
legs.
hoping it would be. Like, I was hoping he'd just be sitting there like, hello. It's just like burning up. Like, oh, that's not funny. That's like,
No, and I love when Gabby shows up on a jetpack and she's talking to Iron Man and Carol and she's like, "My sister's in there. Don't kill the dragon. My sister's in there. We got
Yeah,
to
and
get
they're
her
just like,
out." And
this.
hey,
she's like,
hey,
"By the way, this jetpack is awesome. I'm a huge fan of both of you two, and I just want to say you guys are cool."
and then you
I
got
love
Tony.
Gabby.
And then you got Tony Hill. Are your agents getting smaller?
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, I got a question for you. Chris. So, like, when he got his legs burned up, did you have a bad little flashback, like, just with that acid or whatever?
What?
Talking about aliens again, right? No, I didn't.
Oh my God,
No.
Chris, just look at him like, not
You know
good.
what?
I love the little scene where Laura covers herself in pheromone, and you got Fing Fang Foom, and there's just this giant heart, and she's running away on a jetpack, and
Yeah.
and Carol
Can't believe
is like, so this giant monster is attracted to you. She's like, worse things have been attracted to me. She's
Yeah.
like, and Carol's like, I hear that. I want to high five you, but you're kind of covered in dragon pheromone.
you got
Um,
Tony.
I love I love that. And
The one thing I
the
like
only
also at the end of the book where Laura's back in her apartment in the Bronx is that she's got on that shirt.
I would buy that
Yeah.
T-shirt. I would buy that T-shirt.
And then she's like, "Why did you
Yeah,
bring him here?" And then basically, Logan says, I know this apartment. This is where I raised you. I was like,
Oh,
oh, okay.
wow. That was touching. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what comes next. So,
Yeah. But the only thing I'm upset about, and I told Kyle this, the only thing I'm upset about is we didn't get to see the naked jetpack scene. I wanted to see. She mentioned that she jetpacked naked home, and we
and it
didn't
was
get to
very
see that.
cold. It was very cold, she said. So, I didn't.
I'm like, you can't just say that and not like at least have some kind of visual there.
I mean, Doctor Strange. If Doctor Strange could go flying around naked,
I know. If
Yeah.
Doctor Strange can walk around the Sanctum Sanctorum without pants on, Laura can jetpack naked to the
I
Bronx.
just like Doctor
Okay.
Strange floating on like this purple thing, butt ass naked. There's like a black brick around his butt, like you can't see it. Like it's.
I think
It's really
before, because I don't know if anybody else is reading this. I think I should get the last Marvel books out of the way that I know I
Moon
was
Knight,
reading.
right?
Everybody else is reading, but
All right. Go ahead.
let me get Moon Knight number 3.
Oh, yeah.
wait, because
I forgot that came out.
Yeah.
All right, because
Number 3 by Jeff Lemire and Luke Smallwood.
I'm still waiting on the second one. Still
Yeah.
waiting on the second one.
So
oh man, like I haven't read number 3 yet, but so far, like I like how this is going because like it's keeping the story interesting by saying, hey, we don't know what's real and what's fake.
Yeah.
So
You also
I
feel like you're going
like-
crazy as you're reading this, especially
Yeah.
with the artwork.
right.
Mhm.
that's Smallwood. He's done Moon Knight before when Ellis was on it, the previous run. What I like about it most, besides is it real or is it not, is the emphasis on the Egyptian deities. That's what
Yeah.
I'm loving the most. It's like
Yeah.
I love mythology and stuff like that, and I'm a big mythology buff. But I've always said that we put too much emphasis on the Olympians and not enough on the other deities. And so we get to see like Anubis and people like that. I was like, I'm like, oh my God, look at that. And him talking about, you gotta pay a toll with one soul. I thought that was really cool.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna ruin everything in it because not everybody's read it. But Lemire continues to shine, and we're only 3 issues in with this.
I got a question about a character, about Moon Knight. Who's Marlene? Is she like from an older run?
Marlene
Yeah,
That was
because
his girlfriend.
was his love. Marlene is
That was
his
his
love
girlfriend.
interest. She's
Didn't she get killed by Bushmaster?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the one that, uh, in terms of if you're going by the original origin, she was the one that nearly got killed by Bushmaster, and Mark nearly died
Oh.
over, and that's where he, the
He
whole,
became Moon Knight in the first place. Yeah.
yeah, Khonshu brought him back to life and everything like that. Yeah.
Also, I love Greg Smallwood's artwork. It reminds me of Alex Maleev when he was doing Daredevil back in the day with Bendis, or even
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Michael Lark when he was doing Daredevil with Brubaker. It feels very Daredevil back in that time, and I love that. So I was like, I love Bendis and Brubaker Daredevil, so more to that. So
It also kind of reminds me of when Bendis was on Moon Knight. He was doing that kind of stuff with like his personalities and all that.
yeah,
I
Back when he
like
was in LA.
Yeah.
yeah, I like the psychological twist that just like overall just the aspect of the book brings, especially through the artwork. Like,
mm-hmm.
Lord, like when he steps outside of that freaking building, like onto the freaking rooftop, I was like, oh man, this is crazy.
It
Like,
Yeah,
reminds me of like Inception mixed with like Shutter Island.
right,
yeah, that's a good point.
yeah. So
Um,
all in all, like great book. I hope issue
Yep.
number 3 is great.
and the other book that I'm not sure anybody else was reading, Spider-Man 2099.
I couldn't read that this week, sadly, so I'm like,
That,
Uh,
that's all you.
Peter
yeah,
David continues. This is his baby. First of all, I love that cover of the
mm-hmm.
Isn't it
Goblin of
Goblin?
2099.
Yeah.
We get to see the Sinister Six of the 2099, I guess. The Vulture. Yeah, I'll show you a little bit of them right there. That's them, right there.
Oh, that's some cool designs.
You got the Vulture. You got Electro, Doc Ock, and Venom,
Yeah.
and not Sandman, Sandwoman.
Still no Scorpion.
Um, but we find out that actually Goblin is not who he, or I should say she really is, because it's a she. Um, but this is Miguel in his own time, or the time that he thinks is his own, because remember his time is being changed so much,
Yeah.
so he doesn't know what it's being real or not. But it kind of ends with a classic Peter David cliffhanger that he's always the master at doing, which
Mm-hmm.
always kind of keeps you like, damn it, David, like, come on.
Yep.
How's that book doing so far? Because I actually did want to give it a try just because I really liked the future arcs in the 90s.
Miguel, he's
Really good.
it's really you're really feeling for Miguel in this, especially with the fact of his, he had a girlfriend in
That was
our time,
I think it
and
was.
he thought she was dead, and then find out she's alive, and
Mm-hmm.
her mother's been keeping him from her.
And she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yep.
he's
So
angry.
there's that too.
And
Yeah,
his new costume is pretty good too, because he can kind of like fly a little bit with it.
I like the design of the new costume, most definitely. I thought the white was a good touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the white.
yeah,
I
yeah.
always
The white reminds me of like the Future Foundation costume, which was my favorite Spider-Man costume. To be honest, I've always
Okay.
loved the Future Foundation Spider-Man costume.
All
Black
right.
suit is nice,
Other
so.
than that, not bad. Not bad at all. Peter David, like I said, this is his baby. He created this character, so I'm good. And I've always said, like, I'm really glad that Peter David is still around writing after his stroke he had. I was really scared for him. I was like, oh man, he had a
I
stroke.
want to see him do X Factor with a new team. I would like to see X Factor with a new team.
Yeah, careful with that. Yeah, careful. I don't know. Like, not even just because of the last X Factor. It's just like I I love. See, mind you, what I said earlier. What I said to you earlier, Jay. 17 years, 17 long years, 17 long years with not liking Cyclops. Okay, like X Factor is an exception, along with a few other things. But like mm-mm, no, no Cyclops. But and it's not even matter of fact, it's not even just Cyclops. It's also just like other like X Factors that have just happened. Like when Multiple Man was up there, I didn't hate it. I actually liked it up to a certain point. I feel like it would have been better if they would have been just working for the government again. Um, with that Multiple Man run with was it David that did that, or
Yeah, David's done the entire series from the beginning,
Yeah.
like all the way up to now.
okay, cause I didn't I didn't hate it. Like I said, I actually enjoyed it to up to a certain point, and it just I don't know. Like I try not to compare things to their predecessors, but like I feel like in that instance, or better yet, just like the last instance, whatever that last X Factor was with Gambit.
Oh, you talking about the one with Gambit, Pietro, and Danger, and
Yeah,
Polaris?
yeah. I feel like they should have literally just kind of backtracked and just took a cue from like its predecessor. But um, yeah, I don't know. So I don't know about a new X Factor. I would love to see it, but like I would like to see it implemented in the right way.
I don't know because the way David ended it, uh, Jamie had and Layla
And
Miller are now
Layla. Yep.
are happily married. They got a kid and they got their own farm. They're just living happily.
Ronnie is
Even
good with her son now.
Ronnie, yeah, Ronnie is with her son, Wolfsbane. She's with her son, um, uh, Teresa, Banshee's daughter. She's now she really is a Banshee now. She has the power of the Banshee. So she's like, and Strong Guy is leading some hellish dimension now. So all those characters are everywhere now.
Right.
Yeah, true. Everybody that was part of X Factor is on somebody else's team. So yeah, okay, I'll take that one.
But
All right. So yeah, you
we
guys
can
want to
we
go
can move
to?
on now to the Spider Woman and Spider Women Omega.
Yep. Oh,
And
all
on
right.
that note, I leave it to you.
Spider
All right. Yeah.
Woman.
This was pretty. This
Are we,
was actually really good.
are we gonna do this in the just together, or are we doing them
So
separate?
let's do
Do it in
yeah.
order.
Well, let's do the Omega first, and then
Yeah,
we can go into Spider Woman.
because Spider Woman they actually say that this takes place after this. So
Yeah. Yeah. So let's do it in order so that we don't confuse people.
Spider Women.
okay,
This
hopeless.
crossover did the impossible for me, and me and Kyle both agreed on this. We actually came out of this liking Silk by the end.
Just in this book, I only like her here. I'm not saying I'm going to read her book. I
Yeah,
think she.
yeah, but no, but
I'll
like
say-
I
I'll
actually,
admit, yeah, I kind of liked her here. Um, her Earth 65 counterpart, man, what a bitch. I'm sorry, yeah,
yeah,
man. Um, but I love that gauntlet that she had, like had everybody's powers and stuff.
the
Like,
the Adaptoid Gauntlet,
yeah,
yeah,
the
that was
Adaptoid
cool.
gauntlet, I thought it was
But she was,
interesting. But I gotta admit, I've always said this about Gwen. They really hit Gwen like she's just a kid with spider powers because she really can't fight. Like she throws a punch at Silk,
it reminded me of that scene from Ant-Man. Like, let me teach you
yeah,
how to punch.
yeah. Let me throw you a punch, and she nearly broke her hand, and she's just like,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah,
you
Jesse.
can't punch." And it was like, yeah, Gwen, you need to go get some training from somebody. If you can't, and that's always something that I've always is that superheroes shouldn't rely on their superpowers all the time, because you never know. And this kind of showcased that maybe Gwen relies too much on her powers. She relies on it too much.
I'm hoping in the Spider-Gwen book from this point on, she's gonna go to Peggy and be like, I want to train with Shield or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or train with that Captain America. That's
Yep.
her world.
Samantha Wilson,
And
yeah.
Yeah, but
I loved the artwork.
yeah, the artwork,
The artwork.
yeah, very, very
Nico
good.
Leon.
Yeah, the artwork is awesome.
Who Nico Leon.
And apparently this
again-
place is going to be.
Oh, what were you saying, Kyle? My bad.
Oh, you're fine. I was going to say, apparently this artist is going to be on the Spider-Man book, Miles' book, because apparently Sarah Pichelli isn't going to be on it for a while, I guess,
I'll
for
take
an
it.
arc. So, yeah, so I like this artwork, and I love how everyone in this book, and I've already said it on Facebook, that Jerry, fuck these cookies, was his scene, like just pushing those cookies up in the air was great.
Jerry is my boy. I love Jerry Drew. I've
Yeah.
loved him since the MC2 days, man. Like the fact that she named him Jerry made my day because that was her son from the MC2 that was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's the MC2 Spider-Man. That was cool. I was
And
like, yeah.
I've always, I think, Kyle, you and I have always kind of defended this about Jessica, is that it's good that she's a mom now. It's like,
Yep.
it's like everybody been saying, I don't like she's a mom. It takes away from her. It makes it even more better for her.
It develops her. It makes her more human and gives her a reason to fight. I like it. It's really cool.
I love the end where this is probably one of the parts where I actually liked where Cindy said like she's in Earth, her counterpart is in jail, and Cindy writes her a letter with all these, and she got like an old.
She gave her a TV and a Nintendo 64. That was awesome.
Yeah, and a bunch of they called it. It's supposed to be like what was that soda? Surge. It's called George here. and VHS tapes and a VCR, and she's just like, here, now you can go play in your own. I was stuck in a bunker. Now She says from my bunker to yours. I love that. That was great.
I
love that part right here at the end because she's just like throws a big fit like go. She's like,
I also love. Oh, sorry. I was about to say. I was going to talk about a Gwen moment, made me laugh out loud.
Oh, my bad. I was just about to bring that up. You talking about '90s GI Joe Gwen?
Yeah, when Jessica gets
when she armors up.
Using the armors up, and she shoots Cindy Moon, or 65 Cindy Moon. She's like, "How do you like me now, bitch?"
She goes, "How do you like me now, bitch?" And then she just goes, "Energy shield mode, Captain America." And she goes, "Fuck."
Yeah. God, this was just so much fun. I wasn't. Me and Jeremy, we talked about this. We weren't too keen on this. We thought this was decent. I thought this was a great way to go out. This was really good.
Yeah, the ending was fantastic. Like, it's weird. It progressively got better with each issue, but all the Jessica stuff was fantastic though. Every one of the Spider-Woman issues connected to this were great. Like the when she met Jessie for the first time, that was cool. Yep. When she met Jessie's wife, that was cool. And I like that her and Jessie have a cool kind of relationship where like they called each other just like, hey, so she's heading your way. Good luck. It's like, I'm sorry for all the evil shit that I did to you guys. Nothing personal.
I think maybe we liked this so much because Hopeless is actually the main writer on this one. He's credited as the main writer on this with Latour and Thompson kind of as I guess helping out. I don't know how much of that is true, but it looks like he kind of did a majority of the writing because he's in the front, he's on the credits of this on front of the cover. So who knows? Maybe that's why we probably liked it as much.
Hopeless is really moving up in the ranks as one of my favorites at Marvel for sure.
Yeah, and I'm just and I will talk about with Spider-Man. He nailed it this week. He did a great job, and I'm looking forward to the stuff with him and Jessica Drew.
I think
I'm looking forward
another part that I actually liked, that was pretty funny, is where the girls are having brunch. And basically, Jennifer says sort of like she basically says when do we have to? No, they said, do you really have to bring Jerry alive? She's like, well, when he's with me, I'm enjoying myself. So, and then she's like, they said so like, well, what if a bad guy comes? He's like, well, you two gonna handle it, not me. Yeah. I was like,
I love that.
No, my favorite line from Jessica, she goes, where Gwen's all down on herself because she's like, it was just dumb luck. I didn't win because of anything. If I don't have my powers, I'm nothing. Jessica's like, screw that noise. A win's a win. Now, who wants asprin and ice cream?
Yeah, aspirin and ice cream.
Like, and Cindy's like, I do.
Yeah, I do.
And I also love the moment where evil Cindy is in her lair and she's using the Adaptoid Gauntlet, and she pretty much pulls a Kylo Ren, and she's like, Human Torch mode, Jim Hammond, and she fucking throws a fireball at her control pad.
I also love when Gwen is trying to like she's trying to like her that like thing on her wrist is she's trying to power up, and you see Jessica fly through like the wall, and she's on the floor, and she's like, yeah, I'm doing it, and then she's like, do whatever you can, and she gets pulled away.
Oh yeah, you talking about when Cindy had Dr. Octopus's arms out? Yeah.
And she was like, I got her right where I want her. It's okay. Don't worry about it, kid. I got this under control. She's like, hey, do you always spout out '90s action lines when you're hurt? She's like, no. Well, sometimes, but not all the time.
The one thing I thought was also is that she went to the Trapsters mode, and then Jessica said, she's like, oh my god, you went pasty poo Pete on me, seriously? And then she just went,
really?
And then she just said Dr. Doom's gauntlet, and then I was like, oh my god, and right in her face, I was like, oh, and all you see is Jessica bounce like 3 times, clunk, cluck, pop, pop. I was like, oh.
I love Jessica's face because she just goes, oh, that's why.
But yeah, this was fun. I was when I heard they were doing a Spider event where it was just the girls, I was like, okay, I'll support it, but I don't know if it'll be any good. Like, and it turned out pretty good, you know.
I mean, hey, Slot wasn't involved, so that was already.
Yeah. But
that was already a go for me.
This was such a feel good book. I just laughed, and I was like, that was a good thing. You need that kind of, you know, and sometimes with these comics, and that was.
We're gonna talk about laughing, then move on to this.
Dude, this was freaking hilarious. This was hilarious. Tiger Shark versus Spider-Woman. That was great.
First of all, it was good to see Tiger Shark. I thought he was dead. I was like, whoa, Tiger, okay, but. I love that, you know, I love how she sees her motorcycle, which we all know Jessica doesn't really need a motorcycle, but she's just like, you miss me, baby. Like, you miss me, baby. Like,
she's like, hey, girl. She's like, hey, girl, you miss me? Like, she was talking to a horse. Like, she was treating it like it was a horse.
And she's just like, yeah, okay. And you just see them, you know, Jessica doesn't need the damn thing because she can fly, but it's just like, she's just like, yeah, you miss it. And, you know, they go out and she goes upstairs to this penthouse and...
Yeah, she breaks into the house and it's like, whoa, that's cool, a sea monster jacuzzi. I guarantee you in 6 months, all the bad guys are going to have one of those.
And then all of a sudden you just see this Tiger Shark and, you know, he doesn't say a damn word throughout this whole issue. He's just going all shark mode on her, trying to bite everything. He just tries to bite her. That's all he does.
I love her line when he first shows up. She goes, "There goes the neighborhood." Oh my god, that was so funny.
The other thing I like is when she's fighting and Roger the porcupine calls her, and she's like, dude, I got a lot of questions about the little man's pajamas.
He goes, hey man, where's the little man's race car pajamas? And because you know the other ones are kind of stuffy, and you know he gets really fussy when he starts to sweat in his sleep. And she goes, well, it's in the bottom of the blue basket in my room, but I know how embarrassed you get whenever you see my underwear, so just kind of dump that on the bed, and I'll deal, and you know, just grab it.
And the thing is,
I thought of Kyle when I read that part. I'm like, Kyle would have no problem.
I was so right. I just go right in. Just
like I said, the thing is like, she's fighting Tiger Shark through this whole thing while on the phone, and like I said, he says not a damn word throughout this whole. He's just trying to bite her leg. I remember when he crashed her head. I was like, oh god. I was like, oh, and her goggles broke, and then
I love this line that she says. She goes, I have a relatively short, under no circumstances list, but swimming in a flooded sewer with an overbitey shark man, that's a no-no.
Yeah, like I right there, I was like, oh, Jessica, you're on his turf now. It kind of that part right there reminded me. Remember that episode of Batman, the anime series where
Killer Croc. Yep.
I was just like, yeah, that's what it reminded me of. and Croc just came up rah, and grabbed him. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a,
that was
I
great. I love
I
that
love
part.
the
That
ending
was
to this book.
funny as shit.
I love the ending to this book. She just all beat up, and she's got like bruises and all that. And she takes her pills and she cleans up and she sees her boy. Her baby boy. It's like that's what you come home to. This was basically just a day in the life of Jessica Drew, kind of. This is just a one-off day in the life of Jessica Drew as a superhero. A
I
superhero.
liked one of the part. What I also liked is when she came out the sewer with Tiger Shark, threw him out. You had an officer and the paramedics, like everybody clapping for her. Like
Yeah,
I
they
was
were
like,
like, thanks.
I like that stuff. I'm like, there
Yeah,
you
thanks
go.
for that. Thanks for the assistance, Spider Woman. She's like happy to help. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
And
Also,
people.
it made me crave pancakes at the end. I want pancakes now. Like,
Yeah,
I
and
want
okay,
some
question.
pancakes.
I had a question about this part because was Jessica breastfeeding Jerry in this?
Yeah,
He was,
yeah,
right?
Oh,
because she mentioned it. She mentioned it in yeah, because you see it in the panel. She's breastfeeding right there at the table. Because
Yeah,
oh,
like you can
I
see.
thought it was just more like she was just wearing one of those shirts that kind of come down off
Nah,
the.
she breastfeeds Jerry because she mentioned in the Spider Woman book that she had to pump, she had to stop, she had to the reason she took so long to get to where she was from Jesse Drew's house was because she had to stop and pump breast milk for the baby for when she got back to their reality. I was like, oh,
That's
that's
it.
cool.
I just I like the fact that Robert Porcupine's like, man, these bananas are really good. You don't know what you're missing.
I love Roger. I love him so much.
Roger is great.
I mean,
Yeah.
one thing I'll also admit is when they first started her series before this one, I was really happy that they brought back a lot of those classic Marvel villains like Porcupine and turned them around. I was like, Porcupine was not really a big time character. I mean, he was like a very D-list villain. I mean, nobody could take a guy named Porcupine too seriously. But Jessica actually now trained him, and he held it down for her while she was pregnant. I was like, look at him go. Uh,
Yeah.
but he's like, he's
Yeah,
really funny.
Roger's cool, and Roger's hilarious. He talks like a hippie all the time. He's just like, "Hey,
He looked
man,
like a hippie
like
too. He looked like one of them. He looks like one of those rejects from Woodstock. I was
you're
like,
missing out. These banana pancakes are good. You're missing out."
you're totally missing
Oh
out.
my
Just like
god.
you don't know what you're missing, man. Like, yeah, rock out, far out, man. Like, so I'm just waiting for him to say. You know what Roger looks like if Shaggy grew a beard, full
Oh
beard.
my god,
That's what
yes.
he reminds me of.
Yes, he does look like Shaggy. I was just about to say that.
If Shaggy went and
He
grew a
looks
mountain man beard, like that's what he would look like. All I need for Roger to start doing is going zoinks. I'm gonna call it Shaggy.
Oh my god.
But no,
Oh man.
And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Shaggy's last name is Rogers.
yeah, Shaggy Rogers. No, it's Norvolt Rogers. That's his full name. You don't like nobody calling him by that though. And I gotta admit, the cover for the next issue, I actually like that cover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the like Carol and Tony going at it like in the jacket. That's really cool.
Yeah,
like
I would
this.
buy that jacket.
And first of all, it makes you, what's gonna happen? Jessica and Carol have been
Yeah.
very close friends since Hickman's run. Actually, that's where they really got close.
What do you
Or
mean?
even before that,
That was
actually.
Bendis?
Yeah,
I think.
in Bendis's run,
I think it
and
was Bendis. And Hickman really
because I think
put it.
because both the two Jessicas and Carol, the three of them were like really tight. Jones, Drew, and Carol were all really close.
Yeah,
But
and even before that, I believe too, because there was I believe it was even before Bendis and Hickman, because Hickman I don't remember really ever focusing on it, because he was always plot driven with everything dies. I don't remember anything with just Spider Woman and Carol being super best.
It was a lot in Avengers World. If you read Avengers World, there were a lot
Yeah,
of like downtime issues with
that's what it
Jessica,
was. That's
Quince,
I didn't.
and Carol.
But other than
Okay.
that, this was a pretty solid week for me
Yeah,
Yeah.
personally.
yeah, it was pretty
Good
fun.
stuff.
Like
Did
I
you
really
cry?
enjoyed. I literally enjoyed all the Rebirth stuff. The only thing I didn't like, as usual, was Spider-Man. Um, Darkwing Duck was fun. Man, that felt like straight out of the cartoon, and it was like Arkham Asylum. It was cool. It was fighting all the bad guys at one time.
I'm picking that
Also,
up.
Yeah, even the Beagle Boys were in there. I was like, oh my God, the Beagle Boys.
Yeah, that was crazy.
um, Chris, Jeremy, I hate to have Chris steal your job, but Chris, if you're up for it, just before, because it's pretty late, I don't know if we want to do the talking about news and the apocalypse thing, but unless we want to, but whenever we end this, Chris, can you do what you did on your last comic book review where you talked like Yoda and just end the show off like goodbye, like in your Yoda
Oh no,
voice? That was
it's cool. I'm
Oh,
cool with
you
Chris doing the
guys watched
outro.
my vid and I started doing yoga. Oh,
Yep.
because I was hoping you'd join earlier, and I wanted you to open the episode, and I don't want to take it from Jeremy, but if he's
No,
okay
it's
with
cool,
letting,
dude. It's cool. I like his Yoda voice. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
if you're up for it, Chris, I would love.
But let's do the news thing and the mini apocalypse discussion, and then the Q&A, and then we'll end it.
So yeah, you
All
guys can
right.
start asking if anyone
yeah,
here.
wait, we're talking about apocalypse here?
No,
Quick
we're
spoiler.
doing news, and then we're doing like a spoiler free initial thoughts, kind of a preview of the roundtable
Oh,
for
I haven't
apocalypse.
seen it yet,
And,
so I can't tell you what if I.
yeah, yeah.
All right,
That's
all right.
why we're going total spoiler free.
Yeah. Also, guys,
So
in the comment section, just start asking questions. Because the last one was from Jacob Harper. He says he agreed with Jeremy. Cowboy Bebop. I'm not sure what that was from. I forget. But if there's anyone still
it
watching,
was about Punisher.
okay. So yeah. I know we have 2 viewers right now, but if you guys got questions, go ahead and start loading them up and put them in the comments, and we'll get to them when we get to the Q&A. So I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time. All right, cool. Jacob's good. Say he's got.
All right, so I know Chris, you did 2 opinion spot videos on both of these news topics. So I mean, it's kind of retreading for you, but the 2 news topics we're mainly talking about are the fact that we have our Captain Marvel pretty much, and the Submariner might be back if Fat Q is to be trusted. So which one do you guys want to discuss first, Captain Marvel or Namor?
We can take the dick first.
Well, pause.
Pause
Hold
on
up.
that one. Pause.
There you go.
Pause.
No, Namor. I think, like I said, pretty much, is like if we can really trust Fat Q, and it's kind of
I
funny
mean,
because
they actually set up a little bit of it. They set up a little bit of it on Agents of Shield because they had somebody in like this water test tube, and the name above it said Mackenzie.
oh, that's
and
right, and that's Namor's. That's his father's side. You know,
Yep, and
Mackenzie.
and there is like the Mackenzie Corporation, and they showed the map with this marked spot in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm like, wait, no, that's not Atlantis. But maybe they're gonna do it. I don't know.
I've said it before. Like, if they really are, if it is true that his rights have been returned back, I'm not against it because Universal wasn't doing jack shit with that. You know, we all knew he wasn't. They're too busy focused on revitalizing the classic monsters. You know, that's what they're really focused on now. So, I always thought that, you know, if they weren't doing anything with these, the rights go directly right back to Marvel. So when I heard that it was with Universal all this time, I'm like, really? I thought they already had it. So,
I want to
Yeah.
see, like, maybe they could do an Invaders thing, like show like
I've always
show
said
like
that. Like,
files
how
of
would
the
they
Invaders.
do it though? The way I was thinking about is that maybe it's something from their past that they maybe a secret.
Yeah, they could do like classified files, classified shield files, of the invaders and
The only thing
stuff
with
like
it would,
that.
the only thing they would have to write is okay. How come Steve doesn't remember this? How come Steve doesn't remember this? How come Bucky doesn't remember it?
I
Well,
mean, Bucky's easy enough, but Steve, you could easily say when he plunged into the Atlantic, some of his memory wasn't entirely intact. He remembered most of it, but like maybe some bits and pieces were gone. I mean, that's an
Uh,
easy right away.
I don't
and
know if I would
the other thing
really
is
like
like,
that. Personally, I'd be like, oh, that's convenient. That's like,
wait, what happens? What happened? No,
Kyle was saying, Kyle was saying that's a little too convenient. Yeah, I can do agree with that, but I don't know. I want to see the invaders though. The invaders were
I,
really
I
cool.
I think what would be really cool is just like, you know, the biggest thing is if it is true is explaining how Feige and the team are going to explain like where have the Atlanteans been all this time, like that they just stayed away from like like I said, I put it in my thing is like oh it was those damn surface dwellers, let them fuck up their own stuff as long as they don't bring their problems to us, we're
That's
fine.
that's that's surface people problems. Surface
Yeah,
people problems.
the surface dwellers, let them deal. So, but like I said, I made this joke, and I thought it was pretty funny because it came right out of Cowboy Bebop. If you remember the episode with Hakeem, and these two boys were fishing, and the kid is
Oh,
like, "Yeah, I got
maybe,
a
when, when, when
big
the
came
when
out
maybe
the
of the
when the
water," and
fishing hook when the
he's
fishing
just like,
hook
"What
gets caught
time
in
is it?"
him, and he just. Oh
I can
man, that's
I can
funny.
imagine something like that. Namor just coming out. Where is the president of the United States or something like that? Like, it'd be just pretty funny to see. But I mean, like I said, if it's true, it'd be good. I would just want to hear him say those Imperious Rex just one time. I would really love to hear him say that. And for the look, I would want him to have his current look now. I don't want that old school look with the
See, my
wings.
theory, my theory, my theory about Namor. I think they're saving it because they're making an FF deal, and they're gonna bring in Namor with the FF.
I wouldn't mind that. I mean, Namor does play a how horny he gets for Sue. So
Yep.
give him that. But it'd be cool. And then other than that, besides just Namor, then that brings in Namora, his cousin, Namorita, her daughter, Atuma, Tiger Shark,
Tiger Shark.
Orca, and a couple other Atlantean warriors. Even that newest Atlantean warrior that was in New Warriors. What was her damn name? I'm forgetting her name. The one with the mohawk. Oh God, I'm
Oh,
forgetting her
I
name.
know who you're talking about. The one
Yeah,
in the
Water
one in
Snake.
the one in
That was her name,
the
Water
one in
Snake, right?
Yost. Yeah, the one in Yost Run, right? Yeah, that
Yeah,
was Water
her.
Snake.
They could bring in her, just stuff like that, and I don't know, just if it is true, and I'm not saying it is because, like I said, I don't trust Casada, because we are enemies, me and him, so I don't trust him too much. But if it is true, what he's on a podcast on Kevin Smith's podcast talking about, oh yeah, we have them, like okay, uh, I need more data and info on that, but. I would think it is true, but don't you? I think when you think about it, don't you think it would be a little bit put out there a little bit more, like oh Namor's back. One of Marvel's
Yeah.
first heroes is back with the company. I think it would be put
That's
out
why.
there.
That's why I think they were kind of just holding on to it until they get the final deal with FF, so they could be like they could have like an FF movie, but instead of doing the overly done Doctor Doom first movie, the first FF movie is like an Atlantis attacks movie, where like they end up deep sea exploring and they find Atlantis. Namor tries to fuck Sue. Reed's like, stay the fuck away from my wife.
That would be kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
And then Johnny's like, can we get the fuck out of here? Cause I'm kind of the fire guy. Water, no thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, Namor, it would be really cool to see him. it just makes me wonder who could they get to play him. Craig had a good character that I thought, okay, that could probably work. He had the dude that plays Spock now. I was like, I can kind of
Oh,
see him playing
Quinto?
it.
Zachary
Yeah,
Quinto? I can see
I was
that.
just like, he
I,
needs to bulk up maybe a little bit more, but I could probably see it.
I still can't get a. I mean, him. The only reason I don't like him is because he played Siler, and I don't like Siler. I've always hated. I've always
Oh
hated
man.
Siler.
It's too bad it's too bad the Rock's playing Teth Adam because I chose the Rock.
The Rock would
No,
play a
no, no,
good
no, no, no.
Tuma. The
Matter of
Rock
fact,
would play a
speaking
good
of the Rock,
Tuma.
speaking of the Rock, not to get too off subject or whatever, didn't he just get the part of Doc Savage?
Yep, he's got Doc Savage,
Yep.
another pulp era character. You know that
Alrighty.
character was once going to be played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I was
Hell,
like, wow.
what?
Yep,
That's crazy.
yeah,
Oh.
because he's
What
he reminds me.
wasn't there a Phantom movie play with Bruce Willis as the Phantom or something?
No, the Phantom was played by Billy Zane, and then they did another. Then they did the Sci-Fi did a movie. It was supposed to be turned into a TV show. It was supposed to be a more modern take on Kit Walker, but it didn't. It only became like a. I didn't like it too much because I didn't like what they did to the Singh Brotherhood. It became more like a corporation. I was like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like that. I was like, yeah, I don't like that part.
Uh,
It,
but
it, it felt too much like Daredevil. That's what I didn't like. I was like,
but yeah, the other piece of news is the Captain Marvel stuff with
yeah.
Brie Larson being confirmed as the front runner for Carol Danvers. I like her a lot. She's really come up in the past 3 years or so. And she's got a lot of major star power, especially after The Room, which I highly recommend anybody go check out if they want to see what her range is like. Because
Yeah,
it's basically
everybody
kind
keeps
of
saying you better
her
check out
trapped
the
in a
room.
bunker.
Everybody
Yeah,
keeps
you
saying that
gotta.
to me. You got to check that out. Probably do because I remember I said it in my vid and even on I was like I never seen a lot of her work and then I'm just like, well, you did, you dummy. You saw Scott Pilgrim. She was in Scott Pilgrim. I was like, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
she was Ramona Flowers. Also, a lot of people forget she was Ramona Flowers.
No, that's not her. She was
It wasn't. I know
she
she was.
was
I know she
Scott's
was in it.
she was Scott's earlier boy girlfriend. The, the one who Brendan Roth was with now. That's her.
Oh, right, right.
That's her.
Okay, that's I knew she was in the movie. I just forgot which girl she was.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It's cool.
So
So,
yeah, I mean,
did you have anything to say on the Captain Marvel news, Kyle, for Brie Larson?
Uh, I don't know her from anything. Brian keeps saying she's great in The Room. Apparently, that's where she's been well known from. So, but I don't know. She doesn't look like Carol, but then again, that's fine. It's an adaptation.
Google image search it, and I'm pretty sure you'll find some good ones with her, especially with like the more updo type of thing they go with in the modern comics. She pulls that off very well.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's a negative. I mean, like Christian Ritter looks nothing like Jessica Jones, and she did a fantastic job. So I have faith in Marvel.
Yeah.
They've never like the casting, even movies and the Netflix stuff and Agent Carter. They've never let me down, with the exception of one, which is Gamora. I don't think Gamora really fit the bill personally. Zoe Saldana. She's a good actress. I just don't think she fit Gamora. But I have nothing really to say. So personally.
I still think Zoe Saldana could have played a better White Tiger.
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm just saying. Anyway, so I guess that pretty much wraps up the news section. So we can, so if we want to just transition into like the spoiler-free X-Men Apocalypse stuff, who wants to go first?
Go ahead.
Actually, on that note, I'm actually gonna peace out because I'm trying to move a few things around as far as like a lot of these books because I just got a new box, and
Okay.
I'm actually pretty tired. So, good conversation.
It's cool.
Yeah.
All right,
So
then we'll catch you next week, hopefully.
That's when you guys are gonna do the full round table for Apocalypse.
We're still figuring out the time. We're still figuring out the time. We still gotta wait for everybody to see it. We'll keep you posted in the chat though.
All right, man. All right, everybody be easy. And most definitely, Chris.
Oh my god.
Never mind. All right,
Oh
man.
my god.
He's gonna keep pushing that book. He's gonna keep pushing that book on you, Chris. I'm
I know
telling
he
you.
is.
So
Okay, so
you want
So I
negative
guess-
or
I mean-
positive?
yeah, which one do you want first? The negative opinion of it or the positive opinion of it? Because like me and Kyle are like two sides of the coin for this one.
Go negative first. Get the negative out
Okay.
first.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say this. Just spoiler free, just initial thoughts. I'll get into it deeper in the round table. And oh my god, I am blurry. Seriously. Come on. Anyway.
It's just your lighting.
Yeah, probably it is. Oh, hold on. Okay, that might be. Okay, that look better. There we go. Okay, anyways. Sorry. I thought the movie was okay. It was just mediocre, personally. I don't know, like, when it comes to X-Men movies, I kind of hold a high standard, especially since First Class. First Class kind of started this good to great trend of X-Men movies we've gotten since, to this point forward. And I don't know, as a sequel to Days of Future's Past, this is pretty, like I said, this is just mediocre. It's not a bad movie. It's just not a good follow-up, personally. I don't know. I felt a lot of the characters were pretty weak. A lot of the stuff they were doing with them felt very tacked on. This just doesn't feel like it needed to be a movie. I don't know. Like, I feel like there was an interesting movie before this. I don't know. I'll get into it more. Those are initial thoughts, but I thought it was just kind of weak. It's not the worst superhero movie I've seen all year. But it was just okay. I was just a little disappointed personally with it. Apocalypse is the Ronin of this year, personally. They play him up as a joke.
I didn't hear that. You went Tasmanian Devil.
I just couldn't get into it, and everything was. I did.
Yeah, you went.
I pretty much got it. I think what you said was Ronin Apocalypse is pretty much Ronin the Accuser.
Yeah, for this year, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. All the stuff with Jean and Cyclops, I liked the actors. Cyclops got nothing to do as a character, so I don't know. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so for me, I think the biggest thing I felt was a problem with this movie, which I thought was decent to solid. But the biggest problem I had is two words: wasted opportunity. There was a lot of wasted opportunity here. They had a lot of cool possibilities that they didn't really explore. To go into Apocalypse really quick, to kind of defend that, like, I know he was kind of, he's kind of just a one note. But to be fair, in the comics, he is kind of just one note. Like, only the strong shall survive, survival of the fittest, and that's literally what he does here. So I'm like,
I don't know. I don't think just because it's the comics doesn't mean it's a good thing. You can make him interesting. You can make him really interesting, and I mean, I don't know, like.
I don't know. Maybe because I've always only saw him as someone with cool powers and not someone with like a deep, and I was kind of more okay with him. But I liked a lot of the stuff with the young X-Men. I liked especially the stuff with Jean. Jean was really cool. I feel like they built her up nicely, at least from what they gave us, and I like the setup they had with Scott. And what Scott had to go through in this, it was a lot of what Scott was with the whole theme with him was legacy, and they cut Jubilee out of this movie. So yeah, all right, that earns points for me. I'm sorry, Jubilee fans, you guys are probably like, no, that's bullshit. But me, I'm like, all right, that's cool. Knock her out, leave her out of this movie. That's cool. But yeah, I was okay with it. Like again, I agree with Kyle. This was by no stretch of the word the best X-Men movie ever. Out of the newer ones, this is probably my least favorite, but I still think it was a. I don't think it deserved as much as the hate that it has gotten. I feel like the only
Oh yeah,
reason
yeah, that's
it got so destroyed was because it came after Civil War. I feel like if it switched places and it came after BVS, it would have been, people would have been a lot more forgiving. But because Civil War is more fresh in people's heads, I'm not saying we did it because I know we didn't because we separated. But I think a lot of people might have had that in the back of their mind, like Civil War did this. Why can't why can't they do this? Especially because X-Men: Days of Future Past, the movie before had such good complex themes and great character arcs and stuff. You were expecting if you go into the movie expecting that you're gonna be disappointed. But if you go in kind of just like this is just its own movie, and you kind of just go in blind, I feel like you'll have fun with it. Uh, and it had a cool end credit scene.
that one was confusing. I think for like hardcore fans, it's cool, but like the casuals, like really, like I don't know, that
Yeah,
was just I was like,
yeah.
oh, that was
Again, most of the reason why I was more positive about it was because I kept seeing it more as like stuff they could do with the stuff they had set here. You know what I mean? Like I'm like they could do they could do blank blank because they did this. They could go into this direction because they introduced this person or and things like that. But that's more of just fan wishful thinking than actually being critical when you really step back about it. But that's just how I felt. So yeah, that's just my little
That's
quick
fine.
initial
I mean,
thoughts.
if there are people that like this movie, that's fine. Um, I will say, and I will agree with Jeremy. I don't think this movie should have gotten as panned as bad as it did. This because I'm a little negative. I think this is still better than X-Men 3 and X-Men Origins. It's just okay.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that's the thing. Just
yeah.
okay.
It's worlds better than X3 and X Origins, but like yeah, it's because Days of Future Past was so good. A lot of people kind of just a lot of people went a lot further down with because the first two movies in this trilogy set the bar so high.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Although all the Magneto stuff was great. Like I'll say that all the Magneto
oh,
stuff
I actually
I enjoyed.
disagree. I thought he was kind of the weak. He was the only one that got character stuff, but it was pretty weak, and I kind of thought he was just there just because we wanted to make him a horseman. I was like, oh,
Uh,
he's just kind of.
I can see that. I mean, but we'll talk about that more in the roundtable. But yeah, that's pretty much it for X Men Apocalypse, the mini preview for the roundtable.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna
So
see.
we
You're
got
gonna
any
get a cover of
questions?
the thumbnail. All right, I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna make a
Oh
joke.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say you're gonna see a cover. You're gonna see the thumbnail for the X Men Apocalypse one with me and Jeremy's heads like this, just like come on. You're gonna have Chris like
Oh man.
calm down, man, just calm down. Just calm down. It'll be like that one guy from Batman Begins. Oh God, who's the one guy?
Okay.
I was
What
like,
you got from Batman Begins?
I'm trying to think of the guys like the guy with the gun, man. I was like, you be able to like talk like that,
Oh.
like.
That man with the gun. That man with the gun.
I'll see harassed.
I see harassment. That man with the gun.
Oh man, but what we got? You said you got some. We got some questions, Jeremy.
Yeah, we got a couple. Okay,
Cool.
so all of them are from Jacob actually. So let me scroll. I don't know if I can scroll up on this window. So as far as I can see, one of the I'll just read them down. So will you guys want Marvel to appear in Captain Marvel, or will you want it says will you want Marvel in Captain Marvel?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
I think
It's essential. It's essential.
Yeah,
he's the essential
he's
character.
essential to the origin. Yeah.
He's essential. So of
It'd
course,
be like
yeah.
taking away Uncle Ben. It'd be like taking Uncle Ben away from Spider-Man or Peter Parker away from Miles Morales. They're
Yeah. Oh,
important.
yeah.
That Marvel is
Yeah.
important.
The original Captain Marvel, yeah, he needs to be in it. He definitely needs to be in it. That's kind of a weird question, Jacob. You should know us by now, especially me. What the hell? That's what you bro.
Okay, so do you guys feel that Superman will be expected in Justice League? Yeah, he's definitely coming back. I mean,
Yes.
we saw that his
Does he-
the dirt moved in his grave, so
Mm-hmm.
he's definitely gonna show up at some point.
Yeah, he's gonna come back. I think they actually dropped the name Justice League Part
Part
1.
Justice League.
Oh man, that was so great. I loved when, and I'm not making fun of him, but I loved when Brian told me, he told everyone it's just called Justice League. I was like, really? Like they put out new stuff on. It's just called Justice League.
No, I love because Jeff Johns put on Twitter, he's like, all right guys, just to clarify, no, it's not called Justice League Dawn of Justice, it's not called Justice League Angels and Demons and all this crazy crap you guys are trying to speculate that the movie is called. It's just gonna be called Justice League, and it's gonna be just a regular Justice League movie. None of this overblown, like, he went into this whole thing about it's not gonna be like overblown and exaggerated, like. He was kind of taking shots at Snyder while still tagging Snyder in the tweet. I was like, you're savage for that, Jeff Johns, but I respect it.
What's
Hey,
next?
man, listen, I had to sit through that movie. Be savage all you want to Zack Snyder. I had to sit through that film, so you know what? So, yeah.
All right, so this one's for you, Kyle. Jacob asked, do you read the Nova book?
Oh, no. I want to.
No?
I read the first issue, but I'm not reading it currently. I might pick it up if it's good. So.
Okay.
If you recommend it,
All right.
I'll definitely.
All right, cool. And he asked me if I read Super Zero. Yeah, dude, Super Zero's hilarious.
Yeah, I
she's,
love that book.
she's fighting aliens now. It's like it's nuts. Like, oh my God, Jimmy and Amanda do a great job on that book. I freaking that book. I told Kyle about it. Like when one of the I showed him one of the issues where she interrupts her sister's boyfriend while they're getting it on because she's trying to summon a demon, and she uses like freaking pizza to try and summon. Oh my God, it was hilarious. It was just hilarious.
I still crack up when she tried to, and she actually had herself get beat up just so.
And the thing with the ants.
And she tried to get bit by her. That was funny. I was laughing at that one.
Oh man. So all right. So next one. Thoughts on Rose McGowan and the X-Men poster. So basically what Jacob's talking about is that bullshit claim that like the Mystique poster of Apocalypse choking Mystique is promoting rape. Like, no, it's just a villain choking a bad guy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure if they.
Oh, I thought it was just abuse against.
Yeah, I think it was abuse or something. Just like really.
Yeah. Like I think it was like domestic violence domestic violence.
Yeah, I'll just say this because this is kind of. Am I lagging at all?
No,
you're good.
Okay, good. Because this is kind of this is one of those territories you don't want to get into because sometimes you can get people that are like, oh, you think this is okay? It's kind of like why we don't talk about religion or politics, but on this channel. But it's a villain doing something bad to the main protagonist of the movie. They're not supporting domestic violence towards women.
Yeah.
I understand she had something in her past, but if you're that uncomfortable and you can't handle that kind of stuff, and I'm not trying to be mean, just get some therapy, get some help. We shouldn't be complaining about that. I mean, and I'm not trying to poke fun at even say anything mean towards Jeremy, but it'd be like if they were choking out Charles Xavier, you wouldn't see Jeremy like, oh, I'm upset because that's abuse towards people that are disabled that can't walk.
People.
No, yeah, it's like handicapped. Exactly.
it's like it's one of those things like they're saying domestic abuse, right? Well, first of all,
Yeah.
domestic abuse, the pure definition of domestic abuse is a spousal quarrel or a quarrel within a family. And Mystique and Apocalypse are not in a relationship or familially related. So technically that doesn't even qualify as domestic abuse. And two, I'm pretty sure he would
Yeah.
choke
Maybe
out any
Rose.
member of the X-Men team.
Yeah, and I'm pretty
All
sure.
right,
I mean, maybe
moving
Rose
on
thought.
from that one.
Yeah, yeah. Move on. Yeah, maybe Rose
Yeah.
thought they were a couple because they're blue.
Yeah, maybe because they're both blue. They thought they were a thing. Anyway, moving on to the next question. You guys read Vamp Blade? I read it off of my friend Corey because Corey gets it. It's the Action Lab book. It's hilarious.
I
The
read
chick
it.
works in a comic shop and she like uses these weapons and turns her into a superhero. It's cool. I
Yeah.
like it. I also read Zombie Tramp from Corey, and that's hilarious too.
Zombie Trap.
It's funny, Chris. I think you would like it. It's pretty funny. There's also another one from Action Lab called Holy Fuck, and
Yeah, I've
it's
seen that
ridiculous.
one. I see.
It's ridiculous. It's
That's
ridiculous.
that's their more mature lineup. That stuff. Yeah, I know that's stuff.
Yep.
What's next?
Okay, so thoughts on Preacher, guys? I liked it, but I've read the comics, so I enjoyed it. I was surprised at how good of a director Seth Rogen is, and showrunner.
For me, I watched it the first, and I wasn't a big Jacob. You already know this already. I wasn't a big Preacher fan back in the days, but I watched it and I was just like, this is. I hope it does well, but it's not for me. I was just like, I'm not feeling it, so I didn't watch anymore. I was just like, I hope it does well, but I was just like, it's not for me. It was just not.
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
not for everybody. I feel like it was more appealing towards the fans of the comic anyway. Kyle, I'm pretty sure that's your response too, or did you actually watch it and enjoy it,
No.
or at least give it a shot?
No, no, I didn't.
All right.
No.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next question then, and I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, no. Okay, so no, there's another one. Do you guys think Web Warriors needs to end? Yeah, I don't really see that there's a point to this series really. I mean, it's fun, but like, oh, by the way, Mayday's back, guys. So she's not dead.
Oh, May's back. Okay, she's not dead.
May's back. Yeah, May's good. So Marvel, Marvel. You don't have to worry about me shoving a crutch up your ass.
That's good. She's alive. That's good. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
but yeah, I don't know, man. That series, it's fun, but I don't see the point to it. So I think it should.
The only thing I think that kind of has a point is that you can kind of see. I look at it more from Gwen's point of like she can jump from different worlds now. Like if she wants
that reminds me. Didn't she say her watch is like running out of juice? Like she only has a certain number of jumps left.
Yeah, I think it is. So, but I think it is. I think they should just end it. I mean, bring Ayana back to the 616 world and have her team up with have her interact with Laura, because her and Laura really had a good friendship. At first they hated each other, but then they had a real good friendship after that.
Mhm. Yeah, I read it. Oh wow. I wasn't too impressed with it. I like those characters, but that kind of novelty of seeing all those spider characters together has kind of worn off. Personally, Spider-Verse was kind of like the last thing. I was like, it's kind of worn off, guys. Like, and I got like 10,000.
Yeah, the whole novelty of seeing a million spider characters at once. It doesn't really hold up. True, I agree with you on that one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So next one, and this one is directly for Chris. He goes, Chris, are you mad that Red Wolf ended, bro?
I think we're all mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good book. That was a good book.
I still have to write Mr. Edmondson kind of a message. I've always told him that it always sucks that his books end so early.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, besides maybe Widow
Black
and
Widow.
Punisher, those kind of went a little longer. But
Widow,
I
I feel
always,
like Widow, I feel like had an actual ending to it. Like
yeah,
Widow actually had an end.
the way they ended the Red Wolf last week, left us with a cliffhanger opening. Like, okay, there's more to this story. I mean, but I did like seeing him do what he did. He pulled a Beastmaster. I was like, yeah, it's so cool because the original character, original Red Wolf, could do stuff like that. I was like, when his eyes started glowing, I'm like, yo, this dude about to turn into a werewolf. He barely about to go in. And then I was like, but he had all these wolves around him. I was like, that's so cool. But yeah, I was upset, but I'm not really mad. But I really thank Edmondson, and I will say I thank Marvel for giving a Native American character with his own book a chance. But what I'm mad is that y'all literally remember that big poster of Marvel and all them saying like, oh, all these characters will be important to the Red Wolf was on that cover as being important. And yeah, I didn't feel like that. That's where I'm a little upset about, Jacob. That part of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay. So
I want to hear what Kyle had to say. Go.
yeah, my bad.
You're fine. Uh, I don't know how it was doing sales wise, and I think Marvel just had a plan like we're gonna get this character big, but then sales didn't work out, and they're like, well, never mind. I think that's kind of what happened. I don't know what the sales were for Red Wolf,
I
but
think the 1872 book did better than Red Wolf actually did, because I know the 1872 book sold really well, and that's the whole reason they wanted Red Wolf to get his own book.
Yeah, because that's where
yeah,
that's where this version comes from. That book.
yeah, and it's kind of sad because that was Nathan Edmondson's only book at Marvel now. Like he was writing 3 books for Marvel before Secret Wars. Now and he was just writing 1. Now he's got nothing. Now he's gone. Now unless he's secretly writing something else for Marvel, he's gone. We lost a good
Yeah,
gem.
either they're gonna give him something else because all I know that he has coming out soon is him and Michael B. Jordan are writing the book together. And
I mean, Nathan Edmondson, I'll give you one. Since I haven't mentioned it all show, you could always write the Young Avengers. Just get
yeah, I would agree
My
with that.
God.
Okay, what's the next one?
Okay, so this one's for Kyle. Jacob says, Kyle, you say you're not a big Punisher fan, correct? So what is it about him that you don't like?
I just don't like anti-heroes, period. Like, it's not just Punisher. I just don't like anti-heroes, period. And it didn't help that Punisher was introduced to me as a villain in Spider-Man. I don't like when you back in the day, anyone that took out or hurt my character, of my favorite character, Spider-Man, I took that personally. Like, for years, I hated Captain America. And it was Ultimate. But I don't hate him. I just don't like anti-heroes. That's just the thing. Like, I know I say Punisher, but it's Deadpool. It's Wolverine. I mean, I like Laura and I like Old Man Logan, but I just don't like anti-heroes, period. That's just kind of the thing, personally. So, I mean, he's a great character, but that's just, I don't know, like, Punisher's not a character.
He's not for your taste, liking. He's not your taste.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you for the
So
question.
the next one Jacob has is, do you guys think Jessica will meet the other Earth Green Lanterns? I hope so. I think her and Kyle would get along really well.
Yeah.
Kyle was kind of the reserved type at first too. I think that would be interesting. I want to know where Kyle is, because I don't know if because they didn't really show him in any of the promotional art for the other
They
Green
say
Lantern
he's
titles.
gonna be in. They say he's gonna be in Green Lantern, the Corps. So.
Oh, okay, then I guess I'm gonna have to get that one now, because I wasn't gonna get it at first because I wasn't liking Venditti stuff before. But then again, I didn't like Percy stuff before, and Green Arrow turned out good. So who knows? Maybe Venditti will turn around. Let's see.
Well.
Did you guys see the images of Hugh Jackman as old Wolverine? No, I
Yeah,
don't think I've seen any of those. Have you?
yeah,
Have you guys?
yeah. He looks so.
Yeah,
He gets
he's
out
in a like in a suit, but it looks more like how he looked
modern.
in you know the Death of Wolverine. I was like, he looks kind of like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it'd be, I thought it'd be like a post-apocalyptic kind of world since that's where all the
Yeah.
Logan takes place. But it looks like he's just looks like normal civilization. He's just old. Like he's getting out of the car. He's like this. It's like, so, but I'm really looking forward to that movie. That and Spider-Man: Homecoming and the Lego Batman movie. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Oh, the Lego Batman movie. I love that trailer where he's warming up his dinner. That's hilarious.
And I love the one in theaters, the extended one where Alfred just comes in, Master Bruce, and he goes, "Hiya!" and he kicks him into the piano. It's like, oh my god.
I like how they fast forward past Batman and Robin when they list all the
Yeah,
Batman movies in
yeah,
sequence.
it's really quick. Oh man. Hmm.
So, okay, Jacob's last one, and he says, "Sorry, does the new cast of Thor 3 help you guys gear up more?" Yes and no, because I like
No.
this cast a lot, but at the same time, I don't like this whole buddy cop Hulk thing. Like, if it was just the cast alone, and it actually had like the legit, we're gonna fight Surtur, it's gonna be the Twilight of the Gods and the end of the world, and shit's gonna get serious, then sure, I would be hyped. But because it's buddy cop with Hulk traveling across the nine realms, yay! I'm not excited at all.
Yeah,
Even
I
even
don't know.
even though Valkyrie's there, even though
I
Hell is
think
there.
Look,
I could be, while in concept, it sounds pretty dumb. I'm hearing there's going to be some Planet Hulk stuff, which, okay, fine. If we can't get a Hulk movie, fine. But it's all about, I have to wait until I see a trailer before I can make a final judgment. I'm not liking everything I'm hearing so far about the movie, but it could turn out to be really good or at least get me hyped from a trailer. I'll wait. I guess I'll say I'm reserved. I'll reserve my judgment until a trailer
Yeah,
comes out. You know?
I can agree with you on that one. But right now, as of right now, at least, I'm not excited.
yeah, I think that's kind of agree with what you guys are saying as well. It's like when they announced, the new cast members, Jeff Goldblum. I'm like, okay, and we know that we finally know that yeah, Valkyrie is gonna be in it. Yeah, they're changing her race, you know, and Carl Urban's gonna be in there as Scourge. But then as soon as I saw Scourge, I'm like, where's Enchantress? I'm like, where's Enchantress? That it's like, where's
Maybe
Amara?
maybe this is pre their partnership or something.
I guess, and but still, like then I started hearing that. Then I started kind of hearing what Kyle was just mentioning that yeah, they're going to integrate parts of Planet Hulk, and I'm just like, I don't know. I still don't like this whole factor. And once again, I still don't like the fact that the guy directed it. He don't even know where the hell he going with this damn movie. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jacob's next comment is just all caps yelling Tarzan. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hyped for this movie, man. Like this, I cannot wait to see that movie. You got
I,
Margot Robbie as Jane. If we get Margot Robbie in a loincloth, you can
uh,
guarantee my ass
I,
is gonna be in that seat.
I heard I heard Jay that I actually read it. Actually, there's a love scene between her and Tarzan, and she punches him like an aggressive.
Okay, that's awesome.
I was like,
All right.
what? Like, okay. Um, Jacob, you know how much I've always loved Tarzan, and yeah, I've always you and I both read the book together when we were younger. So, and
Yeah,
but
I've read a lot of the
the
Burroughs novels
original
for
book,
Tarzan.
is always something. I think most of this generation, when they think of Tarzan, they just clearly think about the Disney movie. I mean, my Malcolm and I were just talking with our cousin, and he just instantly said, "Isn't Tarzan Disney?" I was like, "No." He's like, "No, he's a
The
public
animated
domain
series was
character."
actually pretty close to the books though, because they even did the whole leopard people and the
Yeah,
like the kind of Savage Land area that they
yeah. He
talked about in the
but
books.
the thing is, Tarzan is a publicly domain character. Anybody could use him. But I've said it before. I'm very much looking forward to this movie, but I don't. I'm not expecting it to be like a blockbuster or anything like that. But just
Yeah.
something fun, that I like. Of course, it's going to be a little CGI heavy. You could clearly see like the gorillas at some point going to look very CGI. And even Tarzan at some points looked CGI. I was like there's a scene where he jumps off the cliff. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's CGI. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
basically
I saw
that.
that.
But Margot, I like what she's doing with this Jane. She's not the damsel. That's one thing I was like,
It was kind of like the Jane that was in the Lord of the Jungle miniseries, because that
yeah,
Jane is badass too.
yeah. Like I mean, you see Christoph Waltz's character saying, "I want you to scream for me." I was I started
It's like
laughing at that, and then
he
she
goes,
says,
I love his monologue. He goes, he's Tarzan, you're Jane, now scream, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, like yeah,
All right.
he's like he's Tarzan. You're Jane. He'll come for you. I need you to scream for me. And then she's like a damsel, and then she spits in his face. I was like, oh, I was like, I thought that was pretty damn.
And I love how she stands up for Tarzan too. How she's like, an ordinary man would go to extraordinary lengths for the woman he loves. My husband is no ordinary man. I'm like, yes, there you
Yeah.
go. That's what I want to see in the Tarzan movie.
So, Kyle, you seen the trailer, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We need you to scream for me. That's he's laughing. And then Christoph Waltz with that classic face where he's just.
Yep.
Just look at us, just like yeah, and that mustache don't make it any easier. It's making funny, but nah, the Tarzan looks good. I'm really looking forward to it. Margot Robbie has been really putting herself out there, and I really appreciate that. She's really showcasing that she's showing that I got range. I'm not just this type of actress.
I've liked a lot of the movies she's in. Even the Will Smith one that nobody else seems to really like. I
Oh,
like
what was it?
Focus.
The first Will Smith movie she did. Yeah, I still
Yeah.
want to see that. I actually wanted to see
I
that
thought
movie.
I thought it was really good. They have really good chemistry, which is why I'm excited for Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially after that.
the
Yeah.
last comment we've got is from Nate, and he just says, "Thank you guys for the birthday wishes." No problem, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now it's time for Chris to wrap us up.
Oh well, I was gonna clean house. I generally like to
Oh.
clean house. So.
My bad,
Okay.
Kyle.
Clean house.
Yeah. Okay. So this was episode 5 of Comic Convo. Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry we didn't do last week. Chris, I was busy. Chris hadn't read his books. And I think he was busy as well. And I think Sean was busy as well. So Jeremy just couldn't do the show. And we at least like to have 2 people on it. We don't like to just have one.
Yeah.
It's not fair. There's just no reason to do the show. But also, we'll be back next week for episode 6, same time. And I don't like to do this, but I generally, for this show, I don't mind views. I don't need these things to get 100. But if you enjoyed the show, really enjoyed it, give it a like. It's second your time, and if you have, thank you so much. Yeah. And X-Men Apocalypse Roundtable, we'll try to get in a couple of weeks. So yeah. Go ahead, Master Yoda.
All right. Okay, I'm trying to rhyme, so I don't want it because Yoda rhymes a lot. Okay. Joyous, I hope you had, and the next time we meet, I hope you be glad. Until we meet again, we are gone.
All right, guys.